Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Saturday Night Hockey. So excited. Original Six rivalry, our beloved Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Detroit Red Wings. Rivalry night, Original Six is the best. I'm so excited to be bringing this game to you. It's going to be a crazy, crazy game. Both teams, Detroit's doing a little bit better than our Leafs in the standings. So let's see what we can do and how we can pull it out. Justin, thank you so much for being here for a kickoff. So excited to have you. This is going to be one heck of a game. Hey, Coach, good evening. Welcome in. So let's get right to it because there's so much to talk about. First things first, big deal for the Maple Leafs. Huge signing. Morgan Rielly, 8 years. Average $7.5 million. Still going to be very interesting to see how we're going to afford this, how the Leafs are going to make this all happen. I do want to ask a question because I'm using a very new and different setup tonight. Can you guys give me a thumbs up in the chat if the audio is okay? So let's see, make sure the audio is working as expected. Perfect. So we got Rielly, huge deal. What I'm hearing, the way the contract is broken out, the first couple of years, there's a signing bonus. We got 4 years next year with a $4 million signing bonus, $5 million the following year with a $5 million signing bonus. Thank you, Coach. And then it goes up to 10 and then starting to trickle down on the back half. So it's going to be very interesting to see what is going to happen, how we're going to structure this. Is there another trade that is in the works that Toronto's going to pull off so they can afford this? Now, there is some money coming back to us next year with Phil Kessel's salary that we've been paying, $1.5 million, coming off of our books. Hey, Lisa T, welcome. Thanks for coming in. So we got $1.5 million coming off the books from Phil Kessel. As well, we anticipate the salary cap is going to go up a little bit. So there might be another $1 million to $2 million to play in there. So we should be okay for next year. But it's always going to be tough when you have just shy of 60% of your salary tied up, in about 5 guys or so. Coaster Mom, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining. So that was one huge story. Another huge story that's been breaking this week is the whole scandal with the Chicago Blackhawks. Definitely don't want to get too much into it. The only reason I want to mention it is because it did have a big impact to my Florida Panthers. So Coach Quenneville steps down as he was part of the Chicago team when that whole scandal broke out. So he's been relieved of duty. Detroit still was able to pull out, Florida was able to pull out a win yesterday over the Detroit Red Wings, who we're going to play tonight. So hopefully they have softened them up enough for us. And yes, Coaster Mom, that is the other big story. Since we met last, since we did, the show last weekend and we had another stream on Tuesday, we are now up to 210 subscribers, which is amazing. So as you're coming in, hit that like button. Definitely, if you haven't subscribed, give it a click to subscribe and join us. The other thing I want to show tonight is we are wearing the new merch. New merch that just came out. We are live, Samuel B12 with the logo. On the back, we got the barcode, the QR code with the scan and subscribe logo. So when we are out and about on the streets, we are going to be wearing this. So lots of things happening, some great action. Let's get to the lineups for tonight's game before the game actually starts. So what are we seeing tonight? We are looking at the Red Wings projected lineup. First line, Vladislav Namestnikov from the Tampa Bay Lightning. Big player on Namesy. Always a big fan of his. Happy to see him come over to Detroit where he can make an impact. Line centered by Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond. Dylan Larkin, this guy was a young stud. He just continues to be such a great player. Second line, Robbie Fabbri, who I'm so happy to see him playing. I've been picking him in my hockey pool for years, and he's always gets hurt and had so many injuries, but happy to see him in the lineup. Pius Suter and Filip Zadina Two, again, real star players with great potential. That line could be money. Third line, Sam Gagner with Michael Rasmussen and Adam Ernie. Should be an okay line. Again, Sam Gagner had all the talent in the world, just couldn't put it together. Did spend some time with the Leafs, with the Marlies. I'm happy to see him back with an NHL club. Wings fourth line, we got Carter Rowney with Mitchell Stevens and Giovanni Smith. And into their defensive pairings, Danny DeKeyser and Mortiz Seider, Nick Leddy and Philip Hornick. And I love Nick Leddy. I'm a huge Nick Leddy fan. This guy is a grinder, and he is awesome. Mark Stahl and Troy Stetcher to round it out. And Thomas Greiss getting the start for the Wings tonight. Over to the Leafs side. Oh, and it is important to mention as well, on the scratched list for the Red Wings, Gustav Lidstrom, and most importantly, Tyler Bertuzzi. And we talked about this previously. Tyler Bertuzzi refusing to get vaccinated, not allowed into Canada, so he will sit out. And Jacob Verana is on the IR. To the Leafs projected lineup, Coaster Mom's favorite new all-time NHL player, Michael Bunting, a.k.a. Buntcake, is getting the start alongside Austin Matthews and Willie Nylander. So an interesting shakeup there. Mitch Marner moves down to the second line with Tavares and Kerfoot. Kerfoot up from the third line to play with Tavares and Marner. So definitely some potential there. Third line, Pierre Engvall with David Kempf and Andre Cash, who's looking really good. That is a pure grinder line. Our fourth line, Nick Ritchie with Jason Spezza and Wayne Simmons. And in my opinion, Jason Spezza is the true kind of leader on our team right now. On the defensive side, big shakeup. Morgan Rielly, who just signed, is getting the number one spot. But instead of being alongside TJ Brodie tonight, Morgan Rielly is going to be alongside Travis Dermott. TJ Brodie drops down to the second line, pairing with Jake Muzzin. And then we got the kids line, Rasmus Sandin, who's looked really good for the most part, with Timothy Lindgren. Justin Hall is scratched for tonight. And one of the big stories making his big return to the Leaf lineup, Peter Mrazek is finally back from that groin injury that he suffered, and he is going to take the spot between the pipes. Jack Campbell is backing up. So as I mentioned, scratched tonight, Justin Hall, as well Michael Hutchison. I'm going to assume if Mrazek's legs and groin holds up tonight, that Hutchie will get moved back down to the Marlies. We'll have no problem clearing waivers. And also scratched is Michael Amadio. On the injured list with his broken thumb, Ilya Mikheyev. We're hoping he's back in December. So those are the projected lineups for tonight's game. There's a lot of potential star power out there. During last night's game, Detroit took Florida into overtime, where Florida was just able to pull it out. So really going to be a close game. Shona, welcome. Thank you to have you here for sure. Appreciate you hopping in. So when we look at the two teams and do a quick comparison before the game gets underway, and they're just lining up to do the anthems, we have Dylan Larkin, who's leading the way, or the player to watch on the Red Wings with 5 points, compared to our captain with 3 points. When we look at the goaltenders and we look at Greiss versus, we don't really have a whole lot of stats on Mrazek to compare, but Thomas Greiss with a 3-1-0 record, a .255 goals against average, and a .917 save percentage. So it's definitely he's Detroit's kind of number one, and we'll have to see if Mrazek is 100% healed up. Max, welcome in. Great to see you. So happy to have you here. So we're doing a few new things tonight. For those of you that were here off the top, we have a new little intro video that we put together, and we have this new kind of layout. So we'll have to see how this all works and comes together. We are combining a bunch of different technologies here, so we'll see throughout the night if we run into any glitches. But certainly on your end, as you're watching, if you see anything that doesn't look right, please do let me know so I can look to fix it up in future versions. So the anthems are just getting kicked off. Ortina Louise is singing. She is the Leafs kind of go-to for the most part. I wonder if I can pipe her in for a quick second. Let's see. All right, here we go. Players are lined up for the anthems. So let's see if we can get a nice shot of the Leafs. It's always so great when the players come together for the anthems. You get the silence of the crowd, and you get a good singer doing it. Here she is. We'll give her some airtime. We've seen her since a really, really small kid, kind of growing all the way up. So it's nice to see that she's still part of the squad, if you will, part of the team. When everything was on lockdown and there was no players, no one in the arena, no fans or anything, she actually did the broadcast from home, which was pretty amazing. That she did her performance from home and they piped her into the crowd. So she's just finishing up, going to move to O Canada. And while she's doing that, we will take a look. Not having Bertuzzi in the lineup is a big loss for the Wings. He's leading the team with 9 points. We have our Willie Nylander with 6 points leading the team. He's also leading our team in goals with 3, as Bertuzzi was leading the Red Wings. On the assist side, Morgan Rielly is our top guy with 4 assists, and Sider with 7 for the Wings. So lots of quick comparisons, and it's going to be really interesting. Let's see a little bit of O Canada here. There's Matthews with his he's hiding his stash. Got John Tavares. Let's see if so we got Marner on the ice first as well. The Marner Tavares line. So there she is again. So we're wrapping up the anthems. They do a really, really nice job at the games. Monster Jam, welcome in. So happy to have you here. Thank you for joining, for sure. Monster Jam says, I was at yesterday's game. It was amazing. Oh, that's awesome. It was amazing. First overtime experience. Overtime is so good. But I tell you, I've been to a lot of games, and I've been very lucky in that respect. And the problem with overtime games is when you're in a rush to go home, if you have to be somewhere the next day and it goes to overtime in a shootout, you don't want to leave because you want to watch it, but you're kind of like watching the clock, and it's like, come on, I gotta go. So here we go. We're getting ready for puck drop. Trenton, welcome in. We are just watching it right on CBC. And yeah, I'm just kind of streaming it as long as watching it. So I got the game in all sight lines wherever I go. All right, I'm also going to get our stats up and running here. And puck is dropped. We are underway. So it may take a few minutes for things to refresh. And let's see, the Leafs take it back and are breaking across the ice. One thing we've noticed with the Leafs recently where we really need to focus on is our giveaways have been bad, and our the turnover giveaways and the hits have been really, really low. We've had lots of shots. In the first few games, our face-off percentage was high. The last couple games, it's been bad. So Marner with a quick shot deflected into the corner. The Wings pick it up and get it out. The Leafs steal and are turning it around. So it looks like we're going to have a change of the guard here, a little lineup shuffle. The Wings are forechecking hard. The Leafs are having a tough time getting it out into the neutral zone, and it's going to turn over. So one of the other areas we saw a lot of play in the last couple games is in that neutral zone. The puck is just back and forth and a lot of dump and chase. And unfortunately, we had a lot of guys who just weren't shooting. Someone needs to tell the arena crew we're ready for hockey. That's awesome. I love that comment. All right, so Detroit is going to pick it up. They are kind of moving out of their zone, resetting, looking to bring it in, tipping it over the blue line, but Toronto's D picks it up and moves it back. So just a lot of sloppy play right now. It seems to go blue line to blue line or turnover to turnover. Detroit's going to dump it in deep and chase it down. Pick it up in the corner behind Mrazek. We got 2-on-2 Leafs and Wings. Leafs are going to pick it up and look to move it out. Rielly with an outlet pass to Nylander. Nylander breaking in, drops it back to Rielly. Rielly wide open with a shot. Good save. Detroit picks up the rebound and easily going to move it out. One-on-one back shot. Mrazek holds on tight, and he's going to hold that for a whistle. So some quick breakouts and some really nice stop there by Mrazek. He's covering his angle well. It looked like he was able to drop down quick. I'm always nervous coming back from a groin injury. You know, is it 100%? Is it not 100%? You know, it's got to be, because if it's not, you could be looking at some trouble. So here we go. Again, some neutral play action as the Leafs dump it in, but not far. Detroit is going to move that out. It's going to get chipped into the back. Bunting is going to chase it down, but can't steal it over. Matthews does pick it up, circles it to the front of the net. Bunting is tied up, though. Detroit takes it into the corner. Can't get it out. Bunting wide in front. Shot, save, rebound, another save. Matthews could not bury that. Bunting and Matthews with the two great shots. Kept in by the point by Sandin. Oh, stolen. It's a race for the puck. Sandin is going to win that. But Detroit, who is that? Zadina is hounding him the whole way. Looking to get it out, but it's the Wings just pinching in the corner. Zadina is stealing it, passing it back around to the point. Detroit is moving it around. Can't really get anything set up. They're just kind of passing it from one point to the other point around the back of the net. Toronto putting on some good defensive pressure. Lindgren is going to pick that up, move it to Sandin, and the Leafs are going to look to break out. Spezza picks it up, dumps it off the boards, which is the right play. Goes in deep. We got Ritchie circling, but goalie passes it away. So dumped all the way down the ice, not far enough for icing. Brody's going to pick it up and reset. Over to Kerfoot. Kerfoot looking to break out of the zone. Detroit in pinching high, though, had to dump it back to the defense, up to Muzzin. Muzzin over the line to Marner. Marner dumps it back into the corner. Kerfoot looking for someone to dish to, but can't get a cycle going. He's got two wings picking on him. Down to the corner, Tavares dumps it out in front, but Detroit's going to pick up the loose puck easily and carry it out of the zone. And they're going to put it in deep. Larkin just dumps it right behind the net. Leafs are going to reset, but Larkin comes pinching up on Muzzin real quick. Comes back behind the net. The Leafs are now going to reset. Looks like some line changes taking place. Dumped in deep for Marner. Marner with the spin around, went to pass, but could not connect to Tavares. Tavares was tied up. Sometimes Marner just has to shoot the puck. It can't be that hard to shoot the puck. The kid is always looking to pass. But that's okay. That's Marner for you. So Engvall now with the puck, stepping over the blue line. Play is broken up, and Detroit is going to carry that out. But stolen by Cash over to Engvall. Engvall can't get a shot, tipped from the wings up over the net, and doesn't go anywhere. So it was a great opportunity they had there by Bunting. Bunting with a nice play, just couldn't bury it in, and the rebound was there for Matthews, but Matthews just could not do anything with it. But some good play. I like what I'm seeing so far. You know, they're moving their feet. They're doing what they need to do. I know there's only been a couple face-offs right now, but Toronto's won them all, which is a key stat. The other key stat from the first couple plays is only one giveaway. So that's, you know, for 5 minutes of play to have one giveaway, that's better than how they started the last couple games. So here we go. Rielly across the point, shot by Dermott, easily blocked in front. Detroit's going to pick it up behind the net and look to move it out of the zone. Stolen by Toronto, but stolen right back from Detroit. Detroit is going to break out with a 2-on-1. 2-on-1 looking, and the Leafs are going to get back and cut it off. It's going to roll to Mrazek, who's going to hold on to that for a whistle. So good start. Toronto is really coming out strong. Detroit is they're there, but they're not putting on the pressure I almost expected of them. So they're just showing a little bit of the highlights from the Florida game last night. Florida's a tough team, and just from these couple clips they're showing, it really looks like they were pushing Detroit around hard. So Detroit is probably going to be a little bit gassed so far. So another face-off. Toronto's going to pick it up. That was left of the goalie. Stolen in the neutral zone again, and Detroit is working their way back in. Rowney looking to move the puck, and it's kind of getting tossed around. Is that Brody's going to pick it up and start to move it out. Engvall going to make a nice pass up the middle. Cache has nowhere to go, though, because he didn't receive the pass well. And they're kind of battling for it. Kempf couldn't help out. Detroit's going to pick it up and start to move the puck. They're going to dump it in and go deep behind the net. And Toronto's going to reset. Muzzin's going to carry it up for the Leafs. Muzzin to Tavares. Tavares over the line, looking. A nifty little move in front, but just couldn't turn the corner to get to the net. Marner going to pick up the puck on the sideboards, goes behind the net to Kerfoot. Kerfoot cycles back to Tavares. Tavares almost to Marner in front, but he kicked it off his skate, comes all the way back to the defense, lingering to Sandin with a shot wide. Kerfoot battling deep. Marner back to the point, lingering with a big shot. Rebound! Oh my gosh. What opportunities. But they're all four wings kind of collapsed in front of the net. Big pass to Sandin. Sandin to the front. Marner trying to dipsy-do too much. Lost the puck, and the wings are going to move it out. Brian K., how's it going? Thanks for coming in. Brian K. says, my Sabres aren't looking too bad this year. I haven't really been watching hockey yet. Brian, the Sabres are looking mighty fine. So Spezza's line is on now. They're battling hard, but Detroit is going to break it out. Larkin, he's moving. Has a man to pass to. Pass up to the middle, but he couldn't receive the pass. Is that DeKaiser? Could not accept the pass. Here comes, Richie, fanned on the shot. Toronto's going to look to keep it in, and it's just going to trickle behind the net and picked up by Detroit. They are going to reset and look to break it out. Some very sloppy play by Detroit. So we're going to break in. Detroit's going to turn it over. Muzzin's going to pick it up and move the puck up. Thanks, ref, for blocking the camera, so I couldn't see who that was. Appreciate it. So it's just rolling back and forth through the neutral zone. Brody's going to pick it up, look to dump it. That's going to be icing, but racing hard for it. Is that bunting? It is waved off, so no icing. But it is dumped all the way back the other way. Sandin, nice little pass behind the net, and the Leafs are looking to move it up. Pass just out of reach. Matthews picks it up and shoots it around. And here we go. Detroit is just moving it out again. So this is just ping pong, kind of like some of the early games we saw where the Leafs would pick it up, they'd move it, they'd turn it over, and it would just go back and forth through the neutral zone. So everyone's going to reset now. Shot attempts are 12-2 for Toronto. So as I said, they've really come out on fire. Here we go, back with Tavares and Marner and Kerfoot. Marner in the corner, circling behind the net, dumps it out to Kerfoot, but Kerfoot had no angle. Moves it back to the point for Rielly. Rielly just banks it in the opposite side. Detroit's going to pick that up in a long, horrible pass. But Marner standing still, breaks it in, dekes around three guys, and eventually turns it over. Toronto's going to move it back to the point to Rielly and reset. So they're going to just dump it in deep as they're going to get a line change underway. Shots are 8-2, 8 shots on 12 shot attempts. So a couple block shots. Here's Detroit breaking in, fanned on the shot. It goes wide of the net. Hey, AAU Triton, good evening. Welcome in. So we've gone about 4 minutes or so without a whistle, which is great for Toronto, not so great for Detroit, as I'm starting to think they're a little gassed early from their game last night. And as you see in the chat, AAU put in a command, !gamble. If you are here and you're watching, you are earning points, whether you know it or not. You can do !points to see how many points you have. And feel free to gamble with those. It is free. You just put !gamble and the number you'd like to gamble, and it's a dice roll. And you could win or you could lose, but it's some fun while we chat and play. Oh, Toronto made a pass up to Ritchie, and Ritchie was about to receive it, and someone from Detroit really stepped into him. But Ritchie did not go anywhere. He is a tough cookie. So battle behind the Leafs net. Larkin picked it up and stuffed it, but couldn't get there. Oh, Larkin, 2, 3, 4 whacks at it by Detroit. Holy moly, we got 1, 2, 5 Leafs and 4 Wings in the crease. And Mrazek is going to hold on to it. That looked very much like a little rugby scrum. So that was interesting. De Kaiser tried to stuff it behind the net. It came to Larkin, who had a whack on it. And who was that? Somebody else had a whack on it too. Lots of plays. So they are going to go to a commercial. So for those of you who did not have a chance to see kind of the little opening video, I'm just going to play it right now real quick. Our new intro video. And that's it. Just a little video we put together to open the show. It also helps refresh. We're going to play that a couple times throughout the night just to give me a break to have a quick drink, and also make sure our score clock gets reset appropriately. So we are using some various pieces of technology. As I mentioned today, score clock is courtesy of Sportsnet. I am streaming from Rogers Ignite TV and watching on CBC. I also have a CBC stream going as well. We are using NHL.com and Sportsnet for all of our stats. So taking a quick look while we are on a commercial break at the out of town scoreboard. So Boston and Florida is 0-0 in the first. New Jersey and Pittsburgh is 0-0 in the first. And the other games don't look like they have started yet. There was some earlier action today as the Nashville Predators beat the Islanders 3-2 in a shootout, and the LA Kings defeat the Montreal Canadiens 5-2. So definitely some interesting stories in the season so far. We are going to get to them a little bit later and look at some of the standings. One of the biggest surprises, and well, it may not be a surprise depending on who you ask, but the Florida Panthers so far one of the undefeated teams in the league and one of my favorites. So we are back. We are getting ready to drop the puck again. Morgan Rielly, I don't know if you had a chance. You probably didn't see the clip, but there was a clip at Leafs practice where coach kind of announced Rielly's signing, and the team went nuts, kind of all huddled over him and piled on. So it was super nice to see. So here we go. Leafs into Detroit zone. Nylander puts it in front for Matthews. Couldn't capitalize. Back to the point. Rielly deep into the corner, battling it out. Detroit is going to come away with it. Kept in. Nylander over. What a shot. That must have been Matthews. But it did go wide. And here we go. Larkin's going to move up again into the zone. Detroit battling themselves a little bit. Nice save. Picked up. Oh, shot wide. Mrazek did make a nice save there. Robbie Fabbri back to the point. Across. Larkin. They're still just passing it back and forth behind the net. Toronto's going to pick it up. Rielly is going to reset. Leafs are going to change lines. It's funny, they say Detroit has 5 shots now, but I've seen them take about a dozen, so that's a little off. Tavares with a shot. Good save by Grease. Picked up by Detroit, and they are going to move out. Neutral zone, Spezza. Captain Canada, Jason Spezza is going to pick it up and move it back. He's going to take the puck back on a bad pass, and they're just going to turn it over in the neutral zone. About 8 minutes left, and the Leafs are going to go offside. We're going to get another face-off coming up. It is good to see, though. The stats are going in the right direction for us. Through the first kind of just over half a period, the Leafs are up 100% on the face-offs, which is crazy. Before the last game, even though Toronto has not been winning really well, they have certainly been up in the faceoff percentages. I think they were in the top of the NHL in terms of faceoff percentage before the last game. Last game against Chicago, Chicago, I think, actually took it in the win percentage, but Toronto, 100% in the faceoff wins tonight. Some key stats to watch as we go already. Block shots. Detroit has 3 block shots. Takeaways are even, and I expect that number to stay even. In the giveaway category, this is where Toronto traditionally this season has been really bad. But they're doing okay today. So only 2 giveaways to Detroit's 3. And certainly in the hit category, this is the other number we really need to watch, where Detroit is up 7 hits to 3 from Toronto. You can come say hi. So we're going to have a special guest who's going to pop in just to say hello. Here's the boss.
Hello.
Mr. Jacob. You can see he brushed his hair for the occasion.
Very fun.
But he really enjoys watching kind of the Leafs when they're winning and not so much when they're losing. But he wanted to pop in and say hello. So say hello.
Hello.
All right. Man of many words. Okay. He may pop in and out throughout the night.
I might bring you more stuff.
AAU says hello, Jacob.
Hello.
Slinixy, I don't know if that is the correct pronunciation or not, but welcome in. And you're right, Marner needs to step up big time. He is falling behind for sure. AAU also says Jacob is the Beat Saber pro. He definitely is. He was playing it today, and he was unbelievable.
I hurt my shoulder.
So SlinXXY or SlinXC, not sure how you pronounce it. Marner needs to step up 100%. So here we go. Sandin had a nice chance. It is back in the neutral zone. Back to the Toronto D. They're looking to move it up. Long pass for Marner. Marner pulls up and stops. Dumps it in deep for Tavares. Tavares picks it up, chips it out in front. Who's going to pick it up? Back to the point. Oh, who is that? Turn around. The Leafs dump it right back in. It's funny sometimes when they turn around and you just can't see the numbers. So it's just going to come right back. That was actually on Mrazek. He's going to turn it to the corner, and Rielly's going to reset. Rielly moves it up, but intercepted by Detroit. They're going to break quick 3-on-2. Nice passing, but Larkin could not pick it up. Takes a shot from a horrible angle in the corner, steered aside, and here comes Matthews. Matthews going to drop it back over to Rielly. Rielly's going to just dump it in deep, and we're back to the old dump and chase game. Toronto's going to circle around. Muzzin, nice cross-ice pass, tipped in by Engvall. Engvall's going to battle it in the corner there with the Kaiser. Matthews is going to pick it up. Oh, long pass from Muzzin, but Detroit intercepted. It's a race for the puck, but Brody's going to win that easily. He's going to reset behind the net, look for the open man. AAU says, maybe I need to challenge Jacob instead. Yeah, that could be part 2, my friend. That could be part 2.
I'd be happy to.
He says he'd be happy to. So here Toronto is going to move it behind the net. Detroit is going to take it, and they're going to break out. Suter dumps it across. Ooh. Raymond had a good opportunity. At least I think that was Raymond. Back to the net. Oh, nice. Good move. Mrazek is going to hold on to that. And that's going to be Smith. Smith tried to jam it in on the side. Mrazek's going to hold on. So it's been interesting. So when we were sitting about the 12 to 8 minute mark within there, so we'll just call it 10 minutes. We were about halfway through the period. Toronto was dominating in the shot category. Since then, over the last couple minutes, Detroit has come storming back, and they're now only behind by 1. So shots are 8-9 by Toronto. So Toronto has not had other than 1 shot on net in the last several minutes. So the momentum is definitely shifting. It looks like Detroit has found their legs, and they are starting to pull it forward and come out kind of on fire. So this is something Toronto definitely is going to have to watch. We don't want to get caught thinking Detroit is tired, because they're going to do what they did right now and pull, start to pull up some speed and grab the momentum. So looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, I see Detroit has a goal on the board. They are up 1-0 over New Jersey. So just looking at some other stats, as we talked about. So for the face-offs, I said Toronto has won 100% of the face-offs. That sits at 6 face-off wins for the Leafs, 0 face-off wins for the Red Wings. So if we flip over to the Pittsburgh game, I'd like to see who it was for Pittsburgh that put that in, and it was Danton Heinen with his 4th of the year from Zach Austin Reese and Juuso Riikola. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but hey, why not? So it's pretty amazing. A lot of the ties from the Red Wings to Toronto. Shanahan now over here. Yzerman being a good Canadian captain who was with the Tampa Bay Lightning, who's now back over with the Red Wings in their management department. So a lot of ties with Detroit and Toronto, and a lot of history between these two teams as well. So Detroit's it looks like they're going to win this face-off. It's going to come down back behind Mrazek. They're going to battle for it. Picked up by Lindgren. Looking to outlet, deep, tipped in. Ritchie's going to race for it, but can't get it. Circles around behind the net, and Lino's going to pick it up and move it out. So they're just playing around the perimeter right now. Lots of hits around the board. No real movement. So Detroit's going to pick it up, move it back to the point, but nobody was there. It's going to come out, and they're all going to reset. Toronto with a line change. Detroit's going to move up, circle it around behind the net, pick it up on the other side. Detroit looking to break out, shot deflected wide from Mrazek. So Larkin looks like he's going to pick it up on the other side. Sorry, not Larkin. Hronek. Marner's going to grab it in the corner as it comes around, and he's going to look to move it up. Long pass picked off by Detroit. Marner intercepted, turned it back over. Marner intercepted again. So here we go. The sloppy back and forth neutral zone game. Toronto picks it up and resets. They are leading the puck possession time, 8:54 to 6:15. And it's going to dump in and looks like deflect up and over. So we are going to have a whistle on the play and reset yet again. See, Toronto gets in these habits where they move the puck and they play this dump and chase game, but they're not chasing hard enough. And they're giving too much open ice to Detroit in that neutral zone. They're not collapsing in hard. So the faceoff is actually going to be at center ice. Matthews versus Larkin. A little bit of a scrum draw, but Toronto's going to come away with it, and Rielly's going to dump that in deep. So battle. Bunting's going to put it behind the net. Nylander is going to pick it up, cycle it back around, but I don't think Tavares was expecting that. Detroit's going to pick it up. They can't get it out, though. It's going to tip back. Matthews is going to pick that up and fight hard behind the net. Bunting also in there. It's going to squeeze out into the corner. Detroit's going to pick it up, but Rielly steals it at the line in a mix-up with Nylander, and they turn it over. Detroit's going to grab it and reset. They're going to cross the center line into Toronto's zone. Toronto with some moves. Nice high save by Mrazek. But Detroit picks up the rebound, and they're trying to close in deep up front. Back to the point, what was happening there? Two Red Wings completely crossed up. Neither of them went for the puck until it was almost too late. Matthews is going to pick it up, drop it back for Rielly, and they're going to look to set something up and get it going. Here we go. Dermott moving the puck up across the red line and dumps it in deep. Engvall cannot get there in time. Detroit's going to pick it up, but stolen. Toronto with a weird, awkward kind of side shot. Muzzin picked it up with a shot. It's a quick couple good saves by Grease. Had to be on his toes there. The rebound is going to come to Detroit, and they're going to cycle it around to break it out. Through the neutral zone, intercepted by Brody. Brody's going to drop it off, and Toronto's going to turn around and go. They're going to dump it in. but could not, Cash could not tip that in. So it is going to go for icing. Did you guys break the stream bot there? Did we break? Is it not working? It might just be slow.
Too many gambles.
Sorry, just had to respond to a message there. So here we go. Center ice face-off yet again. So it wasn't icing. I thought they called it as icing. I guess it was, I guess the officials had a discussion and they ruled it was not icing. So they're going to drop it at center ice. We got Spezza taking the draw for Toronto. And again, another little scrum, and Detroit's going to come away with it. Breaking out, Spezza, the first man back, goes hard into the corner. Toronto's going to pick up that puck, and they're going to move it. Here comes Sandin breaking it out as Spezza's racing to catch up. Tries to dump it in deep, but could not do that. Also, Sandin misses the outlet pass. Here comes Detroit. Was it Villano? Dumped it off to Hornick. Spezza is in there again. He's going to deep it out and dig it out. Spezza is all over the ice on this shift. It is offside. Toronto's going to pick it up. What was that? They dumped it to an open wing in their own end.
The bot's back up.
The bot is back up. Looks like the bot just needed a refresher.
Energy boost.
He needed an energy boost. He needed a bang. So we're behind the Detroit's net. Detroit is picking it up. We got 2 minutes left in the first. Toronto intercepts Marner to Kerfoot. Kerfoot with a shot. Great save, Grease. I don't think he realized he actually stopped that as he kind of looked through his arm. Picked up behind the net. Detroit. Marner is trying to forecheck. He's got his stick in there, but Detroit's going to circle back around the net, and now they're going to move it up. That is going to be icing. Yes. So we got icing for Detroit. We're going to come back. That was a great opportunity the Leafs had. Got a real good chance there. Grease made a great save, got the arm up, but had to look back to ensure that it did not go behind him. So it's interesting. I'm very curious to hear, or obviously we're never going to hear, but I'm very curious to know what's been going on in the locker room because, and even on the bench, Toronto came out on fire. They really slowed down around the middle of the period, and now they've seemed to catch that spark again. So here we go, back underway. Toronto is setting up in their end, looking to break out. Moving from right to left down the ice. Dumped in behind the net. Oh, took an awkward bounce off the glass. Nylander couldn't quite pick it up. Bunting does. Puts it around out of the reach for Marner. Rielly tries to pinch it, could not hold on. And here we go, Larkin leading the way. A 1-on-3. Larkin gets through. Nice save by Grease. He's cutting those down all night. He looks healthy. So here we go. Fabbri comes in with a quick shot and a nice save by Mrazek. It's very nice to see Mrazek getting up and down really, really quickly and not struggling with the injury. That's in hockey, especially for goalie. When you have a groin injury, you never know how the player is going to come back. So with a goalie, to see them going down in a butterfly and how they move their legs and spread out, he hasn't really been tested on a cross ice play to see him come across and get into that split save position. So we'll have to watch throughout the game as he does. So Toronto wins the game, 45 seconds left. It's going to come out to Engvall. Engvall's going to look to do something. Doesn't really have any room. Sweeps it in front. And Grease holds on to that. Always a dangerous play when you're cutting in wide and you sweep the puck in front. If you have a forward that gets there, you know, that timing is there and they're just able to bang it in. And Cash was so close. He just couldn't get his stick on it, and Grease with the glove covers it up before Cash had a chance. So we got 36 and a half seconds left. We are going to have a face-off in the Detroit zone. To the right of Grease, Detroit's going to win that, and they're going to carry it out and dump it in. So a race for the puck. Tavares is going to pick that up, gets it ahead to Marner. Marner is actually skating well. Why does he do that? He had the zone. He slows it down, dumps it off to Tavares. Tavares back to the point. Brody, oh, take the shot, Brody. Muzzin with a shot, scores! Yeah! Toronto with a nice play, puts it in the net. Oh, yeah. Great play. That was all because of Muzzin. Marner, he broke it in, but then he stopped. He dumped it back, but Muzzin picked it up. Let's see if I can see who tipped it in the replay. Tavares in the corner. Over to Muzzin. Muzzin with a shot. I think Muzzin put that in direct. So it was actually Brody who picked it up. It was Jake Muzzin from Brody and Marner. And he does the little chicken wing high five elbow celebration. Good for him. Great way to end the period. Nice to see Toronto get on the board first and go to the locker room. Well, they're not out of it yet. There's still 13 seconds left. But nice to see Muzzin on the board with his first, assisted by Brody and Marner. So they actually reset the clock. 36 seconds left. Boo, Justin. Boo. Hey, don't worry. There's still lots of time left, and we've seen how this team has performed. The second period has not been good for them at all. So lots of chance. Justin, as a Wings fan, let me ask you, how have you? What would you say about Robbie Fabbri now, if you've had some chance to see him play and he actually looks healthy? I'd love to see your opinion or your thoughts on Fabbri. So here we go into the zone. That's going to do it for the period. Little bit of a scrum to end it off, but they are going to wrap it up and come off with the 1-0 lead at the end of one. Nice work. Good effort by both teams. A lot of battling back and forth. We're going to go into the first intermission. And what's that?
I'm going to join in.
Jacob wants to come back for a minute. You can see he fixed up his hair from earlier to really make it nice.
Bring a little stream, buddy.
Brought his little stream buddy. Who you got? Okay, we got the leaf bear to celebrate. All right, woo. Okay, let's okay, take it down. Okay. Let's go and look at these stats from the first period. When we talk about shots, Toronto, they started off leading in the shots and they fell behind very quickly. Not fell behind, but Detroit caught up. Toronto does pull ahead 14-10 in the shot category. No penalties in the first period, so it's been no opportunities for power play. Detroit did win some faceoffs, so Toronto has an 82% faceoff win percentage to Detroit's 18. Blocked shots, 4 blocked shots for the Wings, 3 for Toronto. The takeaway is 3 for Detroit, 4 for Toronto. Even in giveaways at 3 apiece, and this is a really important number for Toronto. Their giveaways have been atrocious, so the fact it's only been 3. And the hits, 9 hits for the Wings, 8 hits for the Leafs, so they are pretty even there. As we go to the out of town scoreboard, 1-0 Boston. And I wonder, can I pull up, see how quick this loads if we can get the goal scorer. Charlie Coyle pulls the Bruins ahead. Cole from Hall and Lazar over the Florida Panthers. So not happy about that. Definitely do not want to see the Panthers falling behind to Boston. 0-0 Winnipeg and the San Jose Sharks. We have 1-1 in New Jersey and Pittsburgh. Sorry, it's actually in Pittsburgh. We had Danton Heinen, who we talked about earlier, and the ex-Leaf Andreas. Is that Andreas Johansson? Nope. Maybe it's just Andreas Johansson. Maybe it's not the ex-Leaf. Can't tell from that picture. For his second of the year. And it looks like that's all we have so far.
Chef John looks to be tuning in.
Yeah. All right. We have a special guest who's going to join us for the game. I just got to reset my game center here. And yeah, Coach, I saw that. I need these guys to step it up. They need to step it up. So we are going to welcome to the stream Our co-host for this evening, Chef Johnny B. How are you?
Very well, very well. How are you?
Good. Oh wow, that's loud. Hang on, I gotta fix my my audio
Sound
here.
balance?
Gotta fix the audio. All right, give that a try.
That better now.
Oh, so much better. So much better. I have little streaming insider information for everybody. I have 2 laptops and a monitor going right now, controlling everything. So the heat is pretty intense. Actually, I'm going to turn my fan on. So sorry if the noise of the fan is really loud. But it also is tough to balance all the sound out. So welcome, John. Thank you for joining in. Appreciate
Pleasure
it.
to join.
Did you get a chance? I know you were in the car. Probably didn't have a chance to catch a lot of the first period, but did you see any of it or hear any of it on the radio?
Yeah, saw or heard the whole thing. Also had a chance to keep you on and watch a bit of the first period of Samuel B.
Nice.
I got a question for you.
Sure, of course.
How are you feeling about Johnny Tavares? Do you feel this guy is stepped up into that role that we expected of him, or is he still playing timid after that hit in the playoffs last year?
That is a very good question. So he definitely looks. What are you giggling? I got chuckles over here.
What AAU said in the chat?
What did AAU say in the chat? Sorry, John. Timeout. What did AAU say? Wow, complaining about heat with just 2 laptops and 1 monitor.
Now you see why I'm laughing?
Yes, AAU. Yes, see, for those of you who don't know, AAU Triton in their chat has a full command center that he works and operates in front of. And it's like being on the, the bridge of the Enterprise with a whole setup in his face. So yes, I'm definitely feeling the heat. So thank you for calling me out for just 2 laptops and a monitor. Anyways, back to Tavares, who's probably feeling a little heat of his own at this point. Yeah, he had that really nasty injury in the playoffs where he took the knee to the face. I was with the concussion. I don't think he's playing timid. I think I don't think he wants to try too hard. So he's always had an issue where he started really fast and he started off the year playing with Nylander, and Nylander usually had a bit of a slow start. And I know in the offseason or leading up to the season, they tried to work together to be on the same page. So when they really kicked it off, they would be able to connect and perform at a level where they were both contributing. And I don't think it really worked because he, I think, was holding himself back. Nylander got out to a great start, and Tavares he couldn't excel. So
Well,
I don't think he's playing.
I
think
agree. Nylander got off to a good start, but I guess it's a good point you bring up that Tavares and Nylander tried to get on the same page. I just think I'd rather see Nylander get onto Tavares' page, not Tavares get onto Nylander's page.
Yeah, I'm not worried yet. He's had his chances. He's doing the right things. It's one of those. I think he's at the point now where you can't squeeze the stick too hard. He's finding him. He's playing well positionally. He's making himself available. I think part of the problem, is with him and Nylander. They're both shooters, right? So now with Nylander moving off his line, excuse me, and Marner coming down to his line, Marner's a look pass first guy. So as long as Tavares gets himself in the position and Marner isn't playing scared, there's a good chance he's going to find Tavares, because as much as Marner has a hard time right now, he is an unbelievable passer. So I'm sure he can find Tavares and make stuff happen. So it's just a matter of time. Do I think Tavares is going to, explode like he did, previously? At this point, it doesn't look like it, but he's still, at the end of the day, going to be a 20-25 goal scorer. if not more. He's just it's been a tough get going for him. And along that,
the problem is he's supposed to be a 35 goal scorer, and you bring up a good point with Marner. I mean, Marner was a guy that really impressed me. First 2 years, guy was moving his legs every time he stepped on the ice. He was almost untouchable with his speed. Where is he? That's disappeared, and I can't even blame a hit in the playoffs for it.
Yeah, that's the $1 million question.
Yeah, and I think what we're really seeing here is a lot of young, talented, overpaid, underperforming players. And I think that's leading to the outcomes that we're seeing in these games. Having said that, I don't want to jump down the Leafs' throat. These guys are still posting more shots per game than almost any other team in the league. They've got goaltending that's not terrible. So why is the record what it is?
So they've definitely faced, and this always seems to happen when the visiting team comes in, their goalies get superhuman strength. We saw that one game where I forget who was against earlier on, where the Leafs had like close to 50 shots, and they scored one goal. It happens.
It's career high shots faced for the goaltender.
Yeah,
and not just that, for the backup goaltender, their starting goaltender was injured, and again, it's just the Leafs can't beat them. And you're right, we do see that from the visiting teams. But is this a Toronto curse, or is this an issue with an overactive GM that thinks he's coaching the team, and something going on off the ice that's just not translating onto the ice?
Yeah, well, I think one of the big stories that came out kind of the last couple of days, but I didn't really catch wind of it to today, is a lot of people are pointing to the Amazon series on the Leafs. Now, admittedly, I haven't watched it yet. I've wanted to watch it, so I don't know exactly what they cover and how much they show, but a lot of people are pointing to that series as a reason that the Leafs are having some issues right now, whether it's lack of respect to the coach, or a lack of wanting to follow the game plan and feeling different philosophies. I don't know, because I haven't watched the series. I do want to watch it, but I thought that was an interesting couple comments I saw, that people are really blaming Amazon on the.
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing that's pretty good about it is it gives you an inside look of what goes on, with an NHL organization, and what the life of a player is really like, which is more than just young kids playing their heart out in a game that they love to play. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly that comes with being a competitive athlete and playing at this level. I think that if you recall, the Leafs had done a movie back in the day called The Passion Returns about their playoff run back in the early 90s.
Yeah, we talk about it often.
And I mean, heck of a movie. And for anyone who's watching this, if you haven't seen it, certainly take a look. Well worth your time.
Yep.
But again,
John, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off real quick.
Yep.
Quick update: they've changed Jake Muzzin's goal. It's no longer assisted by Marner. It's assisted from Brody and Tavares. So the assist has come off from Marner and added Tavares. All right. Sorry.
Good going there, Johnny T. You're stepping it up at the expense of Marner. No, I mean, what I was saying is, The Passion Returns, fantastic film, came out years after the Leafs run in the playoffs. This series running now with current players, and it's it might just be it might be too current, and maybe this is something that should have been out a year or two from now, when some of the players, or most of the players who would have been in it, probably would have moved on from the team. Or but I know that it's showing a side of Dubas that I think a lot of people aren't loving. Dubas kind of, showing up in the dressing room, talking to the players. It's not really the general manager's position. The general manager should be up in the office. It's the coach's job to coach the team. Dubas is also looking like the type of guy that sees the players as pawns in his chess game more than as the talent and the people that they are. And that's, certainly a perspective. Now, there's with any sort of film, there's editing, and they might be making it look better than it is or worse than it is, and that could have a negative impact on how people are viewing things and how the players are viewing things. I know a few people who are watching the series that speak quite highly of it, but have also said that, wow, that can be damaging to a player's psyche.
Sure.
When the players are now hearing what some of the management conversations are about them, makes it hard to turn around and perform for those people.
For sure. And it's funny, I loved, in past seasons when they've done the series leading up to the Winter Classic, when they did the 4 or 5 episodes, documentary style leading up. I often thought about that when you see some of the conversations, the coaches in the locker room, the executives, what they're saying about players. How is that going to impact those players now that, it's out there that they got spoken to in a certain way or a certain something took place? So it'll be interesting to see if the Leafs are able to shake that and if management is able to, control that. Now, a couple interesting things on NHL Tonight. They just put up an interesting stat that said in the game the other day, Washington, it was on Wednesday versus Detroit, the Washington Capitals versus Detroit. Evgeny Kuznetsov, who's a really, really good player, skated over 4 miles in that game. I guess they're wearing the chips now in their jerseys and they can track a lot of this information. So they had him that skated over 4 miles in that game. So I thought that was quite an interesting little tidbit they talked about. The other interesting stat that kind of came out, well, not really interesting, but that the Winnipeg Jets in the San Jose Sharks game was delayed for 30 minutes tonight before it got started.
Yes.
5 San Jose players and their coach are all unavailable tonight due to COVID protocol. So that's pretty crazy that just before game time, 5 players and your head coach are unavailable. That makes it tough to dress, a proper lineup. Now, I don't know who those 5 players are. I just kind of saw this on Twitter from Elliot Friedman just before we kicked off tonight.
Yeah, and to that point, we're seeing more and more players and coaches go into protocol. Obviously, protocol, it's a much shorter time off, especially because protocol could lead to, a test. You get a negative test, you're back in 48 hours. Even if you test positive, you're only out for a handful of days now. But it raises the question as to, how this is going to affect the season. We see some pretty strong teams that, you drop 5 guys and you lose them for 2 weeks and you have 6 games in 2 weeks. That changes your season, potentially.
Absolutely. Especially if there are a bunch of top players that now come out and you have a bit of a losing streak, that could really impact. And it's early, everyone says, oh, it's early in the season, but wins matter. When you get down, to the end of the year and you're on the bubble for a playoff spot and you look back and you say, oh, if we only could have won against this team and that team, all those games they lost by 1 or 2, goals, it hurts.
You know when early in the season is? August. When you're not playing, that's early in the season.
Yeah.
When games count.
He said you could probably skate more if he had rollerblades on.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Whereabouts is AU located?
I actually forget. Down in the States. I should know this. Oh, I think he's in Maine. AAU, you're in Maine, correct? That area?
Like MAIN.
E with an E.
That's a place.
Yep, that's a place. We're actually on our retro sitcom stream earlier in the week. If you haven't watched it, definitely go back and watch it. But we talked about Kirstie Alley from Cheers and the experience we had with her here, and she actually has a place. She lives out in Maine. So we're getting ready for the second period. Before the second period hits, I'm just going to play our little video one more time. So let's get ready for that second period. Here's our video. right, and we are back. So just a little video. I want to play it a couple times because, yeah, I think it's cool. And it's my show. I can do that.
I have the
Yes,
power.
he is from Maine. The other thing, I don't know if everyone saw it earlier, we were wearing our first bit of merch. So we got our We Are Live Samwell B12 shirt. So wanted to show that off. John, I don't know if you had a chance to see that yet either.
I saw it. I'm waiting to pick mine up.
On the QR code.
Yeah, there is a QR code on the back. So as we're out and about filming, people can shoot it with their phone and get right to the channel and check it out.
Very nice.
So here we go. We are ready to start the second period. Tavares draw is dropped, comes back. It's always funny, these scrum draws where Tavares wins it, but Detroit kind of just steps around him to grab the puck.
It's like my hockey.
So here we go. Let's see. Did our score clock reset? Our score clock has not reset yet.
You know,
So
the Leafs have yet to come out and start a period with any sort of gusto or oomph. It would be nice to see them, you know, pick up the pace a little bit and lay a few bodies and sort of set the tone for the period.
Absolutely. And that's one of the key stats that we always talk about is their lack of physicality. And yes, AAU, it is on the back. Here, let me see if I can turn around without falling off the couch. Jacob, you'll tell me, is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Here we go. So little QR on the back, and it says scan and subscribe. So Toronto is going to pick that up, and they're going to move it across center. Now they're going from left to right. Engveld dumps it in deep. Detroit is going to pick it up, and they're going to start to move it out and get it out of the zone. Larkin with a little flip pass to tip in down behind Toronto's net. Mrazek's going to shoot it around. Toronto's going to pick it up, and Rielly is – nope, that's not Rielly.
That's not Rielly.
Every time I see a 4, I think it's Rielly because he's all over the ice.
That's true. One thing I was going to say about Mrazek is it's nice he comes out and plays the puck. It's nice to have a goaltender that can chip in.
Absolutely. So Nylander is going to break in. He's going to stop and take a look. Turns and shot, and that was deflected. And I think he kind of got lost and wasn't sure exactly what to do with it. And we're just going to go back through the neutral zone and reset.
You see what AAU said?
It's okay if you fall off the couch and add some entertainment. Yeah. Thank you very, very much, AAU.
Content.
Toronto breaking in. Oh, rebound. Nice save by Grease. See what happens when I see someone making fun of me for almost falling off the couch. I lose track of the play.
That's me every day.
That would have been pretty funny. But,
you know, that was a little bit of a head shot and no, I got him under the elbow, but a bit of a late hit on Johnny T, and I think you could say that that's a blind side, just as much as, you know, the call against our old Leaf Nazem Kadri in the Colorado game last year.
Yeah, like the problem
that's led to chaos in every game.
Yeah. Oh, here's Detroit. Sorry, John. Their break-in got spoiled, so no harm, no foul. But yes, Kadri now with his history, everybody's looking for him.
Well, he got a 10-minute misconduct the other day for nothing.
Yeah.
That was a phantom. Yeah, it was a phantom call. I mean, the goalie, raised his stick and waved it at Kadri, and Kadri got 10 minutes for it. So,
all right, here we go. Toronto is breaking in. Spezza
buzzing around.
Oh, rebound. Oh, shoot. Comes back. Rielly couldn't get there.
Give Simmons some credit there. A big body in front of the net.
He just has to play his role and get there and cause some chaos, using that chaos word you said earlier. Dermott's going to hold it in, cycling it to Kerfoot, back to Marner. Marner with a nice pass to Tavares. Back to Marner. He's going to go to Rielly. I knew that was going to happen. Rielly's going to look across.
That was almost in. I halfway called it there.
Nice play by Marner at the point to keep it in. I think somebody had some words for Marner because he's come out in a whole different league in this period. Matthews now looking. Matthews drops it for Marner. Marner kicks it ahead, dumps it back for Nylander. Nylander back to Lindgren. Lindgren. I can't even see who it is on the point with him. I think the lines are still a little juggled. Shot. Oh, Matthews with the tip, but couldn't get there. Bunting picks it up. Bunting back to the point to Lindgren. Lindgren looking to do with it, puts it towards the net, but Matthews kind of already cheated away a little bit. Bunting's going to pinch it up, get it back to Matthews. Matthews back to Lindgren. Lindgren to the corner to Rielly. Shot. Oh, Bunting almost potted one there.
It was slinksy.
You know, this is the control. This is the pressure you want. The Leafs kept it deep in the Detroit zone long enough that Detroit was almost 2 minutes before they were able to get a change.
Absolutely. Hello, Charlie.
One tired line.
Welcome to the stream, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie. How are you tonight?
So here come the Leafs breaking it in. That's right, John. Our very loyal supporter, Coaster Mom, Bunting is her personal favorite, the nickname Bunt Cake.
Yes, I have noticed that when I've been jumping on and watching the chat.
So a nice close-up camera shot of the jaw of the Detroit Red Wings grinded against the glass.
Amazing.
So Detroit is going to pick it up and try and move it out, but stolen by Brody. Brody kind of zigging and zagging, can't get away, but puts it across to the other side for Muzzin. Muzzin's going to dump it back across. Yeah, go ahead, John.
I was going to say we joke about Bunting's name, but I have to say I've been quite impressed with his performance thus far, and I even went as far as saying 2 weeks ago that not in a scoring capacity, but just a body on the ice. I think he makes up for some of the role that we lost with Zach Hyman.
Yep. Oh, hey, Detroit with a quick shot out of the slot. Larkin, great save, Mrazek. Showing his groin is okay. Not showing his groin, but showing his groin is okay. Just to clarify.
I'm so confused.
You're right, John. And when Bunting came over, I wasn't sure, how he was going to, help fill the role of Hyman, because Hyman, was a scoring, put up a lot of points, was the fastest guy on the ice, a real hard worker. And Bunting, he had that hat trick in the preseason. He looked real good. And I'm impressed with him because he still really is a rookie, right? He's still a kid.
Yeah.
I just, during our last hockey stream last weekend, I picked up his rookie card through auction. So I'm
very nice.
With him. Okay. AAU says, thank you for clarifying. Didn't want nightmares tonight. Yeah, it's not Halloween yet. No nightmares tonight.
That's tomorrow.
So I guess
Lindsay, welcome in. Don't get too excited yet. Absolutely, Lindsay. But unfortunately, Lindsay is a Montreal Canadiens fan, and Montreal they did not win today again, Lindsay. So I can get excited about that.
I actually feel bad for Montreal Canadiens fans. They unfortunately, through the loss of Carey Price, have lost their chance of doing anything this year. I mean, that guy carried the team. Not that there wasn't a few other talented players, but Carey Price has been such a soldier that has just marched along and really bared the weight. And you saw him come back from injury in the playoffs last year and just steal the series from Toronto.
Absolutely, yeah.
Major loss, and I wish Price well. I hope he gets the help that he needs and overcomes his struggles. And it'd be nice to see him finish his career with another season or two here in Toronto.
Yeah, very, very, very true. Carey Price, stand-up guy, carried that team, like you said, was a star, all-star, all the time for that team, the real backbone. So huge loss. Also, the loss of Kotkaniemi, who had that offer sheet and went to Carolina, is a big offensive loss there. Now, they have all kinds of talent with Suzuki and Caulfield and others. They have all kinds of talent, but they're still a young group, right? They still. But
you know what? With all that talent, they struggled without Carey Price last year.
Yeah.
It was when Carey Price came back, he turned that team around. And it's not just Carey Price stopping the puck, which everyone knows. This guy is arguably the greatest goaltender in the universe at the moment. But he carries the team with his leadership and the attitude that he brings to the game. And that's something that I think is greatly missing in the dressing room right now amongst all the young talent they have. I don't know if they've got a strong enough leader.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. His veteran leadership presence was key.
Yeah, and I mean,
so I will. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, for anyone new who's popping in and enjoying, please remember to hit that thumbs up button. Give us that like button. We're almost at 20 likes. So we'd love to kind of get over the 20 like marker. And if you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscription button. Our channel has been growing rapidly as we're now at 210 subscribers. So thank you everybody for the support. Appreciate it. All right, so we are going to drop the puck to the left of Mrazek.
So it looks like we missed a penalty call there during the commercial break, drawing Tavares 2 minutes for slashing.
You are correct. 2 minutes for slashing. Tavares does get on the score sheet yet again. Got his assist. He gets his penalty.
That's almost like a double-double.
Yeah, he's picking up those stats. So let's see how we can kill this off now. So Detroit is going to circle it around. They're going to look to break in the zone and set up.
Good thing for Toronto. They've continued to be a very strong penalty killer. Their defense aren't scared to block a shot. Their wingers are aggressive, getting out to the point, active sticks through the slot. Not a lot that goes wrong with this penalty kill. Currently sitting ninth in the league. I expect that'll grow.
Absolutely. So that was a great shot from Zadina, deflected by Mrazek up and over.
Look at this breakaway.
Engvall, can he do it? Shot.
Hits the post.
Oh, yeah, goofball. The egghead hits the post.
But don't spend time up ice admiring your shot. You got to get back. We're still shorthanded here, and there was no whistle.
Yeah, you always got to get back. Every time you break out, it's really, really important to get back. AAU. Wait, tomorrow was Halloween? No wonder why my wife told me to take off my mask today. Nice. So Detroit walking the line. Looks like they're going kind of a diamond formation. One high, three middle, one low.
Toronto's been stuck for a minute and a half with these four on the ice. Engvall having
Detroit.
No.
Snapshot from the point. Zadina, he has such a snapshot. That was a really, really great shot from the wings. You knew that was going to be dangerous, and you were just saying it. You were just calling it out.
I was just saying,
stuck on the ice for too long.
Stuck on the ice, and Engvall having that breakout rush. He was gassed, and he needed to get off, and just didn't get the opportunity.
It's when you talk about a game of inches, Engvall went, blocker side, just missed and put it off the post. Great shot, glove side from Zadina, just inside the circle and fires it. Tough save to make from Mrazek. So not his fault, just a very well-placed shot from Zadina.
And we can't even blame the four Leafs on the ice because that was a one-on-one shooter with the goaltender, and shooter beat the goaltender.
Yep. So let's see how Toronto comes back. Dermott picks it up off the point, throws it to the net. Great save by Grease. The rebound picked up by Toronto. Back to the point. Matthews with a shot. Don't think that quite got through. But Detroit.
No, it was deflected in front there.
Here comes Detroit over the line. Cannot connect on the pass. Goes into the corner. You're going to wrap it around the net. Matthews fighting hard defensively with a big scrum in front of the net. The puck is deflected into the corner.
We've certainly seen a change of momentum here. Detroit is caught wind in their sail after that goal.
Yep,
Toronto's going to have to come back.
Matthews with a shot over the net. Detroit's going to pick it up and move out. Move it out.
They could move out too if they'd like.
Yeah.
As well.
In front of the net, scrumming again. 4 Leafs collapse and help out Mrazek and get the puck out of the way.
Prime example there of why your centerman has to come back in the defensive zone. That puck was picked up from the front of the net by Austin Matthews. Goes behind the net, quarterbacks the play, moves it up ice.
Yep. There you go, Justin. Zadina. Such a great player he's becoming. Toronto's now putting some pressure on.
You know, I love seeing almost every defense on the Leafs now jumping in on offensive rush, wingers coming back, covering the point. I mean, this is a team that has sort of all the right ingredients. If they could ever figure out the order to make the recipe work.
Yep. It looks like the puck went out of play, and the refs are discussing, is there going to be a call for delay of game?
Should be inside the zone.
Yeah, Marner was calling for it to be delay a game.
You got a question for you then.
Yeah.
You know, again, there's another example. There's Sandin that was in the offensive zone with Tavares in front of the net. Good draw by Tavares.
Yeah, wins the draw, back to the point, throws it to the net, turned away by Grease to the corner. Toronto picks it up. Kerfoot looking for somebody, can't quite get the pass out. AAU says, who do I want to win? Leafs all the way, my friend. I am a Leaf man through and through. Although if you ask me that question when the Leafs play the Panthers, I don't know if I'd have a straight answer for you because the Panthers are my number 2. And depending on the day, could be my number 1. So almost a breakout pass from Marner to Kerfoot, but it couldn't get it through. It's going to come all the way back down the ice. Muzzin is going to pick it up.
Need the break there to get the change.
So Cache is going to dump that in on the net. Grease is going to push it to the side. And Detroit's now going to step out and break out 2-on-3. Not good odds. Suter with the shot to the net. So it was an interesting play in the game the other night against, I think it was in the Chicago game, where the puck got deflected way up into the netting. All the players had stopped, and they were all pointing up to the netting, but the ref never blew the whistle. And Chicago picked it up and skated all the way down and had a glorious opportunity, which would have been interesting if they had scored, because I don't think it's a replay. I know there's the offside, replay and whatnot, and for goalie interference, but the puck clearly went into the netting and there wasn't a call. So I would have been very curious if there was a goal there, if it would have stand or they would have went back and reviewed it.
I believe it's happened before where a puck was dumped out of the zone, riding along the top of the boards, and actually made contact with the player's glove on the bench, which typically contact with the player's glove play would be called dead. Play hadn't been called dead, and that play ended up resulting in a goal. And I know that the goal was challenged and overturned. Now, I'm not sure what the ruling was, if it was because it was interfered with or because the puck actually went out of play. And there might be a differential on that.
Very interesting. And I just realized I haven't gone in and liked my own stream. So I need to do that. So we are at a commercial break. I am going to go in and click like because I'm asking all of you guys to go in and click like. So shame on me for not going in and hitting the like button myself. So bear with me. We will do that.
Do you lose my feed if I leave?
Yeah, that's okay. You do what you need to do because I can quite easily just do this so we don't have a black screen. So interesting. Most points in the first 9 games for defensemen in franchise history for Detroit. Seidar with 8 goes above Nick Lindstrom, who had 7. So looks like a new little record set there for defense on Detroit. So puck's going to go into Detroit zone. Little battle in the corner. 1 Leaf, 2 Leafs now, and 3 Wings trying to dig it out. Stuck under the skate. Cache and Kempf battling hard, but Detroit is going to come away with it, and they are going to cycle it back. And stolen at the line by Toronto. Rielly to the corner. I can't see who he passed it to. It's going to come back to the other side. Dermott to Rielly. Rielly looking to make a move. Oh, tried to get it to Kemp, but it was deflected and comes back.
You know, he's one guy that I'm really hoping sort of finds his own here in the Leafs and steps it up.
Hang on, John. New subscriber, Alexandros. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Alexandros, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.
And, you know, worth a mention for anyone who's in here, go back and stroll through the old videos. There's some really neat content in the channel. A couple of videos that will give you a laugh, some that'll show you some stuff around town. And if you want to see the evolution of Samuel B12, you certainly can spend a day watching content.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And that was a great opportunity by Matthews, who Greece turned away, and it's going to come back. Mrazek's going to stop it behind the net. But absolutely, for those that are new to the channel and just watching, Tuesday nights we do a retro stream where we turn back the clock, and we've talked about things like Saturday morning cartoons. We've talked music. This past Tuesday we talked about sitcoms. This upcoming Tuesday, we are going to be talking about Disney, retro Disney. So old theme park rides, movies, cartoons, everything Disney this Tuesday. As well, tomorrow night on Halloween, we are going to take the camera out and about in the neighborhood. We are going to live stream as we walk through and check out some of the decorations on the houses, talk to some friends along the way, and see who wants to show off kind of their costumes and jump on the stream. So it'll be a lot of fun for Halloween tomorrow night.
Especially in our neighborhood.
So back underway, Leafs have control of the puck. Sandin's going to move it to Rielly. Lindgren. Simmons puts it in the corner. Wow, they just suddenly went in slow motion. Simmons is going to out ever so slowly with a shot. Couldn't do anything. And Detroit's going to pick that up. That was really funny.
He's just trying to get on the same page as Spezza.
So, yeah, they all just almost stopped moving. It was really bizarre.
Yeah. You know, so speaking of Spezza, going back to our earlier conversation about leadership, that guy has just been a leader from the day he entered this league. I think he brings a tremendous amount of leadership with his seniority to this team.
Absolutely, absolutely. Alexandros, is he here for the Leafs? Glad you are. We are as well. And as I'm sure you're well aware, it has not been the start to the season that we've wanted, but they are definitely looking good tonight. Feet are moving, their hands are moving. I'm actually really liking this pairing of Dermott and Rielly. Lindsay says, have a great night, everyone. Have to jump off and get some things done. For sure, Lindsay. Thank you so much for stopping in. Appreciate it as always, and we'll see you real soon. Here we go. 6 minutes left. This period has just flown right by. A lot of neutral zone play. Toronto is up 26-17 in the shots. Stolen behind the net by Tavares. That's some forechecking.
You know, 26 shots through 2 periods of hockey. For anyone who isn't too familiar, an average game would see 26 to 30 shots. 26 shots in 2 periods is quite an impressive number. And again, as we spoke at earlier, this team does post a lot of shots.
Yep, and Toronto is up 3 minutes in the puck possession game, so they're still leading in that category. All the stats are going the right way for Toronto right now. But it is tied 1-1, so anything can happen. Matthews is going to pick it up. Get out of the way, referee. You can't break out of your zone when the man in stripes is standing right in front of you.
Isn't that like a call-out?
No, there is no referee interference call.
Well, there should be.
Well, there should be, Jacob says.
There certainly should be.
One ref should give the other ref the penalty. So we're cycling it around again. Toronto trying to forecheck, but slip up on the play. It's going to come out to neutral zone. Picked up by Lindgren. Lindgren is going to move it up. Here comes Cash. 2-on-1 for the Leafs. Can't get the pass across. picks it up, puts it to the net, still can't get it through.
You know, do you
Engvall
remember back in the
battling
day
hard
when we
against
only
Paul.
had 3 officials on the ice?
Yeah, Kashe dumped from behind, no call. Gets it back at the center of the net, tries to dish it out in front, can't control the rolling puck. It's going to come back to Lindgren. Lindgren is going to look to move it down deep. Switch spots by Toronto. Engvall circling around. Leafs are trying to change.
Yeah, I was going to say they're getting a bit of a change with Engvall taking a little tour through the offensive zone.
So it is going to come back. Stahl is going to dump it down the ice, and they're going to reset. Rielly's going to take a look. Pass up to Tavares. Tavares can't connect with Kerfoot, but Kerfoot is able to pick it up and put it in.
So, you know, with the big signing of Morgan Rielly, 8 years, $60 million, which quite frankly is, I think, a discount for the quality of player we got. So, Dubas, I do tip my hat to you on that one.
Hang on. 2-on-1 for Detroit. Good play, Rielly getting down.
Hold on, it's not over yet.
Here we go. Nope, they're picking it up. Dermott's going to look to bail it out. Long play up, but could not capture that. Larkin on a minute and a half.
Yeah, now that we're on stop here, so what I was going to get at is, we've had a few big signings, but we still have guys like Campbell that have to be signed for next year. And with the cap rate only going up $1 million, what do you see the future of Kerfoot on this team? Is he a guy that's staying with us, or do we have the money to keep him?
Yep. Here's a comment from Robert Davis. And Robert, thanks so much for hopping in this evening. I really appreciate it. It is early, absolutely. 75 games to go. And absolutely, I agree with you. I'd rather be hot in the final end of the month as well, as long as we're in a decent position. You don't want to go into that final month with a bunch of teams to hop over.
And you know
that's
what?
a good question, John, you brought up. Let's talk about that at second intermission.
Absolutely, we can do that. And just to comment on rather be hot the last month and the first month of hockey, it doesn't matter when you're hot. You have to have enough points to get into the playoffs. If you don't get them now, you need to get them later. I'd rather have the points in my pocket than be chasing down that final playoff spot come the end of the season.
Yeah. AU says, I know I shouldn't say this here, but my uncle was a huge fan of the Rangers. No, it's all good, man. We celebrate every team here. The Rangers have been good and not good at the same time, and a big loss for them with Lundqvist, unable to play and having to retire. Here comes Toronto breaking in. Whoa, a little trip in front of the net. Muzzin.
Yeah, because I don't know what Muzzin kind of flew like Superman there.
I think he was practicing for the figure skating team with that little one foot balance act. He did not pull it off.
In intermission show, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so just under 2 minutes to go in the period. Good effort. I'm really enjoying some of this mix ups. Dermott and Rielly playing together. When I saw Elliot Friedman's tweet earlier today saying they were in warm up and in practice playing together, I kind of responded and said, I really like that pairing. We haven't had a chance to really see Dermott in that kind of a role. He's always been, one of the bottom pair guys. Sometimes he'll get pulled up for a shift or two, but we haven't seen him really take on those hefty minutes to see what he can do. So really liking what I'm seeing of him so far.
I think he's deserved the shot. He's been a steady Eddie for us. You never cringe when Dermott's on the ice. And quite frankly, I think he's ready for that position.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bernie DC, welcome back in. So great to see you again. Hope you're doing well. So it sounds like the Flames, Ducks, and Golden Knights kicking the tires on Eichel again today. Might be getting close to a deal being pulled. That would be interesting. Of those teams, the Flames, the Ducks, and the Golden Knights, where would I like to see Eichel go? It would be real interesting to see him, in Vegas. I think I'd like to see him in Calgary.
You know what? Vegas is a pretty solid team. An acquisition like that would be, putting them again pretty powerful for a cup contender. I don't know. You think he is a big enough impact to push
Oh, yeah.
Calgary into that category?
So it would totally depend who you had to give up to get him. And I think he would be unbelievable in any of those teams. Alexandros, good hockey, good anywhere. Absolutely. I think Eichel, he's a solid player, and he's going to make an impact anywhere he goes. I think he'd be really appreciated in Calgary. In Vegas, we got a Leaf power play, so there was a Detroit kind of penalty just before that commercial break.
No, we do have one of the worst power plays in the NHL, and I don't expect that to change. Much like I thought the penalty kill will improve, I do not see a whole lot of hope for this power play. And I mean, we've got all the talent in the world that you would think we should have a tremendous power play, but it's just not performing.
Absolutely. Yeah, we should get a post counter going for the game. As Charlie says, let's see how many posts the Leafs can hit. They are a big post hitting team. So let's see. We'll watch this power play. Got just over a minute to go. Matthews at the circle is going to put it back to Rielly. Rielly back to Matthews at the top of the circle. Looks to put it in front. Nylander could not tip that, and Detroit's going to slide that out quite easily.
But you see, there's an example. You see Nylander trying to reach around with his stick rather than moving his feet. You know, all he had to do was take 2 steps, and he beat that player and kept the puck in the offensive zone on the power play.
Yep. Spezza's going to try and break it in, but it's turned over and dumped right back down the ice. Sandin going to pick that up, and let's see what he can do. Sandin's impressed me. The first couple games was a bit shaky, but I'm liking what I see from Sandin.
Take that shot.
Here we go.
Oh, he held on
pull it
to
in
it.
And deke around. Back to the line. Sandin with a little fake, trying to find a lane to Spezza. Spezza dumps it in. Blocked in front.
Go loose. Take it back to the point.
Looking to shoot.
What a goal!
Yeah, Bunting. There we go.
You know what? This is the guy that we talked about earlier. You see him now out on the power play, and he's producing.
Bunt cake sticks one in the oven. 2-1 Toronto. There you go. So happy to see Bunting on the scoreboard. Nice little power play goal. Johnny, eat your words. But a nice little play. Spezza with the shot. It was blocked. It comes back to Spezza. Takes a look and sees Bunting wide open in the slot. Spezza with a little kind of shot pass to Bunting, who tips it in. Great setup and great execution.
Look at the guys you have on the ice for the power play. Your fourth line, your third and fourth line are on your power play. Not your Marners, your Matthews, your Buntings and Spezzas that are out there and producing.
There we go. Now. Breaking in again, and they're going to hold it. An AAU with probably the comment of the night, and as soon as that posts up in here, I'm going to put that up. Here we go. AAU says, if there was actual Quidditch games, I'd love to hear you call it. Harry Potter after the golden snitch. That would be fun. That would be fun for sure. So another face-off. That's going to do it. 4 seconds left. 3, 2, and that is the end of the period. Great period for Toronto. Let's just take a look real quickly at the stats. So after that Bunting goal, assists from Spezza and Ritchie. Nice for Ritchie to finally get on the scoreboard. But that period, shots were 16-8 for Toronto for an overall 30-18 shot advantage. Each team is 1 for 1 on the power play. Face-offs. So Toronto's still way ahead, but Toronto won a few more draws, so they're up 70% to 30%. Detroit is up 10 block shots to Toronto's 9, so pretty even there. From the takeaway section, we have Detroit with 7 takeaways to Toronto's 4. And here's the stat that we talk about, every single game. 7 giveaways for Detroit. Toronto now with 10 giveaways. The giveaway number is, again, a problem for Toronto. Remember, at the end of the first period, I think they only had 3 or 4 giveaways. So a lot more giveaways in that period. And that's the number, depending on who you're playing, the teams will capitalize, and that's where Toronto's run into trouble. For the hit parade, 15 hits for Detroit to Toronto's 14. So Toronto has definitely kind of picked up the physical play a little bit, and we think that shows. John, I'll bring you back on the stream in just a second. We're going to go a quick run through the out-of-town scoreboard. The Winnipeg, actually, I'm going to do it, trying to decide which app I want to do it in to see what loads quicker. All right, we're going to go with NHL.com for the out-of-town scoreboard. The Winnipeg San Jose Shark game is a 1-0 San Jose lead with Thomas Hertl getting the goal there for the Sharks. Florida, thank goodness, has tied it up with the Boston Bruins. I was a little nervous there. It was Charlie Coyle for Boston and Anthony Duclair with his 6th goal of the year. Anthony Duclair is such an underrated player. Nobody wanted to sign this guy, right? He was tough to get, and he ends up in Florida. I was so happy to see it, and he puts a goal on the board for his 6th of the year. If we go over to Pittsburgh, New Jersey has taken the lead back 2-1 for New Jersey. The goal coming from Jimmy Vesey, ex-Leaf Jimmy Vesey, to put them up ahead. Chicago St. Louis, after 1, is tied 0-0. And that is our out-of-town scoreboard to date. So let me refresh this and bring our Leafs back in. John, I will bring you back onto the stream.
All right. Now, you bring up Jimmy Vesey. As we were talking about earlier, the Amazon show, Vesey was one guy that was on the show that, was getting ready to go on the ice before practice. And Dubas came down and said to him, "Oh, yeah, by the way, we're putting you on waivers." And Vesey says, "Well, what does that mean? Should I still be practicing?" He says, "Yeah, go out on the ice. If you're gone, I'll let you know and we'll pull you off." And, imagine the mentality of a GM with that attitude, but also imagine, what sort of effort you're putting into your practice when, 2 minutes before going out on the ice, you're told we're putting you on waivers. Dubas then wasn't even keeping up to date. It was Shanahan that came to tell Dubas that Vancouver had picked up Vesey and that he was leaving. A tough life when you don't have control over, these major decisions. I mean, for anybody, to change not just a city, but possibly a country you're living in, and not being involved in that decision, that's tough.
For sure. Justin, the Detroit fan in the chat, says, "Pull Grease." I don't think we should pull him. He isn't playing bad. It's just he hasn't had a lot of breaks. And Bernie DC back with Jimmy Vesey with a shorthanded goal. It was a shorthanded goal for the Devils late in the period. So happy to see him, especially with a shorthanded goal, really make him stand out. He's a guy who had so much potential, had a tough time. We all know kind of his ups and downs, but glad to see him in there with a shorthanded goal. So, John, before we get back to kind of the Eichel conversation, I just want to take a quick look at kind of some of the overall NHL league statistics. No surprise in the points category. Alex Ovechkin tied with Connor McDavid for 15 points. No surprise from either one of those players. Kyle Connor up there with 13 points. I'm not surprised to see him so high in the league leaders of points, but he is certainly an underrated player for sure. Anthony, welcome into the chat. Anthony the Muller Man, my good friend. My Bruins haven't found an identity yet. Yep, the Bruins are having some struggles, but they haven't played us yet. So I think that's coming up. Was it next Saturday night? I think is Leafs Bruins. So Kyle Connor, Kuznetsov, then behind Connor with 12, tied with Stamkos and Draisaitl. No surprise there. I actually thought Draisaitl might be a little bit higher. Svechnikov up on the board with Aho. You see two Carolina players back to back. Then we get down to Jonathan Huberdeau with 10 points and Johnny Hockey with 10 points. Nice to see Johnny Gaudreau back up on the league leaders. He's had a couple tough seasons, so definitely nice to see him back up there. When we look at the goals category, overall goals, Ovechkin leading the lead with 9 goals. He is chasing that Gretzky record hard. McDavid, Svechnikov, Andrew, I can't even pronounce his last name. I'm not even going to try. From Calgary and Lindholm from Calgary, all with 7 goals. Then you have Brendan Tanev, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Kyle Connor, Alex Killorn, and David Perrin, all with 6 goals. So still really close there. On the assist side, Nugent Hopkins with 9, tied with Johnny Gaudreau. And that's interesting. Gaudreau with 10 overall points, 9 of them being assists. Hedman, Neil Poink, who I'm really high on Poink from Winnipeg. Great young talent, both with 8 points, 8 assists, along with McDavid and Draisaitl. Connor, Tom Wilson, Kuznetsov, and JT Miller all with 7. A lot of players tied with 2 game-winning goals, but leading in the plus-minus, actually, there's a whole bunch of guys tied at +9, worth calling out, because I appreciate the plus-minus guys. Josh Morrissey, Tom Wilson, Nick Jensen, Joel Farabee in Philly, good young player. Atkinson is finding his way. Mackenzie Weegar from Florida, another great talent. Ekblad on Florida. Rasmus Anderson, and all those guys at +9, with Duclair and Barkov at +8. So happy to see those guys doing well. Our league leader in penalty minutes is Marcus Foligno. I don't think anybody is really surprised there. In the goalie categories, Sergei Bobrovsky leading the way with 6. And the number that Toronto fans do not want to hear right now, tied for the league lead in wins from Carolina, Freddie Anderson. It's very tough. He was terrible every year in Toronto at the start of the season, but is really having a good start with Carolina.
I do wish Anderson luck, but we also have to remember he can be streaky and he is injury prone. We shouldn't get too down on ourselves for,
of course,
choosing to go with Campbell.
Of course. Here's another number, John, you're probably not going to like. Goals against average, number 1 in the league. Optimus Rhyme, James Reimer with a 1.19 goals against average. Number 2, Freddie Anderson with a 1.33 goals against average. Save percentage, James Reimer, first in the league with a 9.61, and Freddie Anderson with a 9.56. So just
Freddie Anderson, good for him. Reimer, I think, is a bit of a fictitious number because I think he's only played a game.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's just funny to see him the top of the board for sure. Here we go. Looking at some of the other comments, Bernie, Grease was the reason the Wings beat the Caps the other night. He's solid. He's a good goalie. He can steal a game like you mentioned. He did there the other night for sure. Lots of crazy stat lines in Calgary this year. Gaudreau 1-8-9, Lindholm 7-1-8. And how do you pronounce that name, John? Magnia Payne. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I've heard it said, and I can't.
Yeah.
I can't get it. Anyways, sorry.
We just go with Magni.
Magni.
This is what nicknames are made for.
Yeah, exactly. AAU says you need Thin Mints to snack on during the game. AAU, if I started snacking on Thin Mints, my diet and everything else would be going in the wrong direction because they are addictive. But I got my snacks under my table here. We got the Perrier Bubbly and the Nestle Pure Life. These are my snacks for tonight. the liquid snacks. Oh, here we go. Right. Bernie with the assist. Mangiapane. Mangiapane. There we go. Mangiapane.
There you go. Just got to break it down for us.
Oh, wow. All right, let's get back to Eichel. So
Well, I was going to say a couple things to get back to. One is Eichel, and two is the salary cap issue that Toronto's going to be faced with after the big signing of
Rielly. Okay, yeah. So
Rielly.
let's go there. Let's go to the salary cap. So we know Toronto has not a whole lot of room on their cap right now. They do get 1.5 million back next year from Phil Kessel.
Yep.
We are anticipating
$1 million increase.
Yeah, $1 million, $1.5 million, you know, whatever it is. So potentially there's 2 to 3 million coming off, and I'm just pulling it up here. Is there anybody else? So we get a little bit of salary relief right now. So we get 1.65 right now for Mikheyev, right? Which is why we were able to bring up Hutchison. So Phil Kessel is actually 1.2 that comes off the books. Going into next season, which is 22-23, you know, yeah, Matthews at 11.6, Tavares at 11, Marner at 10.9, Nylander at 6.9. That Nylander contract actually right now almost looks like a steal, the way, you know, the potential he has and is playing. You know, Kerfoot at 3.5 for next year. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
I don't think we can afford him.
It'll be interesting to see if they move him for a kind of a, you know, as a rental player for 1 year for a draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, because don't forget, like Super's contract comes up, we're gonna have to sign him, and you're not keeping him anywhere near what we're paying him right now.
Well, so next year, so these are all the guys, you know, they're signed through next year. 2 restricted free agents we have are Cass and Engvall. They're currently a 1.25 cap hit this year. So it'll be interesting to see if either of those guys re-sign. Jason Spezza is an unrestricted free agent, but I think if he re-signs, it'll be at the league minimum again. Sandin and Lindgren are both restricted free agents. Sandin is an 894, so call it a $900,000 salary this year. And
yeah, he's probably moving to $1.2 million, $1.5 million minimum.
Yeah, that'll be tough. You're right. Campbell at 1.6 is an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, but he's an unrestricted free agent, and if he's a starter, he's going to be looking for 4.5 to 5.5.
Yeah, and so is Mikheyev, right? Mikheyev is there as well.
And Mikheyev is going to be looking for 2.5. Which is why I don't know that we have the room in the lineup to keep Kerfoot.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting because with Kerfoot, you know, Engvall, there's a lot of moving parts there. So they are definitely under the gun for sure. Unless there's a big move that's coming, you know, could Marner be on his way out, freeing up, you know, almost 11 million of cap space?
You know what? There's been some speculation that the signing of Rielly was actually a potential sign and deal. I would hate to see it. I think, like I said earlier, I think we got a discount on him at a $7.5 million hit. I think he's worth every penny of it.
For sure.
Open market, he was an $8.5 million player. So,
yep.
Does that make him even more enticing in a deal, having long term at a low rate for that quality player? And what could we replace him with?
Absolutely, it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. When we talk about Eichel, Bernie says Ducks have picks, prospects, and can have patience to take on Eichel to let him get his surgery, get him healthy. Definitely sleeper in this. Yeah, that would be interesting to see what the Ducks do. They could throw in Henrique or Silverberg to the deal. You know, I'd love to see Silverberg coming over to Buffalo. I've been high on Silverberg for a while. And, you know, he's been up and down, but he's such a good player. That would be interesting. I could see him fitting into Buffalo well. Henrique, I don't know. Henrique, I don't know. I have mixed opinions on Henrique. Silverberg would definitely be a great throw-in for Buffalo, for sure. Interesting how the Ducks could have some sleeper potential, and I think it really depends on what Buffalo wants to do or what direction they want to go.
And I think we also have to remember that every team knows the situation with Eichel, which puts him at a discounted rate because Buffalo's in a position that they have to deal him.
Yep.
So that is tough, and you could see something quite surprising come out of it.
Yep, and looking at the Eastern Conference at the standings, Florida leading the way, undefeated with 8 wins, 16 points. Buffalo sitting in second place in the East, in the Atlantic Division. I should specify, looking at the Atlantic Division. So Florida leading the way, Buffalo in second place with 11 points. Detroit currently sitting in third with 10. Boston and Montreal kind of on the bottom there, which I think is a bit of a surprise. When you go over to the Metropolitan, Carolina leading the way there, 7-0 with 14 points. Washington sitting in second there with 5 wins, and then the Rangers up there. The Rangers coming with 5. Philly doing better than I thought. 4 wins out of 6 games. Pittsburgh. Now they're in tough, right, with all their superstars, Letang out, Malkin out, Crosby out, I think Rust out as well. So only 3 wins out of 7 for Pittsburgh. When we flip over to the
West, that's going to turn around.
Oh, wow, for sure. We go over to the Western side. You have St. Louis leading the Central with 5 out of 6 wins. Minnesota up there, 5 out of 7. Winnipeg, 4 out of 7. Kind of at the bottom. Chicago, which I think is the surprise of the year so far, with no wins. Colorado is also a big surprise, only 3 wins out of 7 at the bottom. Arizona, who I don't think is a shock to anybody, no wins as well. From the Pacific side, just before we get back into action for the third period, Calgary leading the way in the Pacific, 5 wins out of 7 games. Edmonton, 5 out of 6. And San Jose, 4 out of 7. And then towards the bottom, you kind of have Vancouver, Anaheim, and LA. So interesting breakdown.
Nice clean draw.
Yeah, interesting breakdown of the standings. And we are back for the third period and is just getting underway.
You've mentioned a lot about Florida. What a goal. Goal.
John, is that Tavares?
That's Kerfoot.
I didn't see who put that in.
That was Kerfoot that put.
Oh, it looks like we lost Johnny's feed, so we'll give him a moment to come back in. I didn't see what happened.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'll
bring you back in 1 second. Tavares had picked it up behind the net. A nice little pass out in front to Kerfoot. Really nice play. Good heads up by Tavares.
I'm glad Kerfoot put that in. Give himself some value for when we deal him.
Yeah, that was a really nice play. I really like how Tavares kind of took a moment, stopped, looked, didn't force it, didn't rush it. And that's something the Leafs have been doing a lot of, is trying to force things and rush things. So great start to the period to go up 3-1. A goal right at the end of the second and a goal right to start the first. Good way to steal that momentum.
So I was saying earlier, you were talking, we've spoken a lot about Florida. What do you think the impact is going to be losing their head coach?
That's a really good question. Really good question. I kind of said off the top, we didn't talk a lot about the Chicago scandal. I didn't want to get, too much into it today, but mentioning about Quenneville, having to be removed from behind the Florida bench. It'll be interesting, right? I didn't see who stepped in. Did you happen to catch who stepped in?
I didn't, and I think that it's an interim position. Obviously, they're going to look to fill it. I'm not sure who they're going to fill it with at this point in the season, but I think it'll be a short list of who they're looking for and a long list of people who would love to do it. You got a great group of talent. You've been off to a good start in the season. Who wouldn't want to coach them? Oh man!
Oh, there
And
you
just
go.
just like that.
Just like that. I was trying to look up to see who, if I could see who the interim coach was, but I don't really want to dig through too many of the articles. So what happened here? Little pass behind the net, Dermott to Matthews. It was turned over for Matthews. Matthews missed it. It went to Rasmussen, who clicked it out front. Velino puts it home. Nice little goal. Very, very similar to the goal the Leafs had just scored with Tavares making the play. So Detroit kind of pulls back a little bit. Bernie says Florida and Boston starting third tied at 1. Cole for the Bees and Duclair 6 for Florida. Duclair is coming out on fire. He's so good, and I got some rookie cards of his and some rookie auto cards that I'm glad I have, because it's nice to see him starting to really, really play well. Sorry, John. So we were saying with Florida, they got off to a heck of a start. They had a big signing of their own in Barkov, sealing him up for long term. So it's a good team. They got a good mix of some kids and some veteran players. Struggled for a long time. I think for Florida, it's all going to come down to goaltending. How Bobrovsky is going to hold up throughout the duration of the season. Thank you, Bernie. Bernie says Andrew Brunette, interim head coach in Florida.
Beautiful, thank you.
So I think Florida will be okay. They have the talent. As long as whoever comes in doesn't try and change up their whole program and kind of starts to work with the players instead of trying to make their own program, they'll be okay. But
you can't upset the apple cart.
Mixing it up now, it'll be tough. It'll be tough for sure. So here's Spezza kind of breaking out, stepping it in, dropping it off for Marner.
Marner finds himself all alone with nothing but white jerseys around him.
Yeah. And Detroit is going to start moving it out.
I can tell you as a player myself, there's nothing worse than getting into the offensive zone, looking around and seeing nobody on your line there.
Yep. Hey, good evening, Morgan. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. So yeah, it was a nice start. I'm glad they got out the way they did. Detroit starting to come back. So that game of momentum, right? Those little shifts, all it takes is something like that. If we get down on the luck and start forcing it to get another goal to go up by 2 again, that's where mistakes happen. So here comes Lindgren. He's going to carry it across the line and dump it in. Toronto's going to try and race for the puck, but Detroit is going to pick it up and start to move it out. 31-19 the shots for Toronto, as we are about almost 3.5 minutes into the third. Detroit looking to set it up and get going. Bernie says, Brunette, very even keel, will be good for that team. Keeps them structured and happy. Yep, absolutely. I agree. I agree 100%. Morgan with what a classic rivalry. Absolutely. Who doesn't love a Leafs Wings Saturday night classic?
Nothing better than the days.
With the cheers for Freddie. Freddie is having a great start to the season. Even though he's not here, still have to show him some love and appreciation for sure.
The rivalry back in the 90s when you had guys like Wendell Clark and Bobby Probert that used to square off toe-to-toe. You'd have Dino Ciccarelli giving Potvin the good old 1-2 in front of the net.
It's a very different time back then. You don't see any of that stuff really happening today.
No.
So here we go. Detroit breaking in, looking to make something else happen, but Muzzin's going to break that up in front of the net. And there's going to be a whistle on the play.
Penalty for holding, I believe.
So let's see what the exact call was. That was, I don't know. I wouldn't really call that a hold. That was
you take your hand off the stick and put it on the guy's body, and it's called these days.
Yeah. John Morgan says good evening as well. Doesn't want to leave you out.
Good evening, Morgan. Thank you for joining us.
Now, is that Bernie? Is that Andrew Burnett by chance?
Isn't Andrew Burnett the producer of those TV shows?
Let's see. Andrew Burnett. Yeah, okay. I know exactly. He's good Canadian boy. So he's going to step in as the Panthers interim coach. So Detroit is moving it around, looking to press, open wing back to the point. No shot from Leddy though. Oh!
Good flash of the head there.
Yeah, that was Fabbri with a nice kind of touch in front. Could not capitalize though. Leddy looking to move it across to the far side, back to Leddy. Big shot from Fabbri again, but that one just bounced wide of the net. Detroit is going to pick it up and cycle back. They're going to get tired now. These guys have been.
I was going to say Toronto's in dire need of a change here. You can see Marner's barely moving around these days.
Yeah. Kerfoot, big fast. Is that Fabbri again with a shot over the net? 3 quick shots from Fabbri. Fabbri with it again. That time it gets turned over and dumped down the ice. So Bernie says on Burnett, came up as a cap back in the day. Not a great skater, but some amazing hands around the net. Burnett was definitely a clutch player. Just ask the Wild when he won the Game 7 for him. Absolutely. Yep, I remember exactly who it is we're talking about now. Morgan says, that is exactly what I meant and really almost only meant, but like you said, different time, different team. 100%. I miss some of the good old days, but it, not the skill that was in today for sure. So Detroit passes it out in front of the net, can't get a shot off. Toronto checking hard, back to the point, shot, good save, Grease.
Oh, he's lost his helmet here.
Comes off. Helmet comes off. Whistle goes. That wasn't intentional. You saw the little head shake to flip the helmet off, but the strap may have come undone on the shot. We'll see here.
I think the shot clips the helmet. There you go. And the strap comes off, just as you said. Catches
it right on the jaw of the mask on the lower part. Strap pops off, little head shake, and he flips it out of the way. Well, a good start to the period. Action back and forth for sure. We're just going to take a quick pause and throw up our little video. We'll be back in just a second. Or we won't. I don't know why that's not working. Let's try it here. All right, and we were back. We just had to do a quick refresh. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, I saw this, Bernie. 7 players and head coach not in the Jets game today. Had to delay half an hour while the Sharks got 5 players called up from the AHL. Very fortunate the AHL team is in the same is there in San Jose, because that's kind of like us in Toronto with the Marlies down the street. That's such an unbelievable situation. Hopefully, of those players that are sitting out for COVID protocol, hopefully that all works out well, and it doesn't spread through the team. Definitely do not like to see that happen. Working with a lot more hockey and less drama in the 90s. Definitely a lot less drama, but I think it was a different kind of drama back then. So really happy to see Mrazek moving his legs well, kicking his pads out, moving his legs side to side. We talked about it at the beginning of the game, that we weren't really sure how he was going to hold up coming back from a groin injury. You can never be too certain how it's going to turn out. So really, really happy to see that he's moving well. So here we go. Draw to the left of Mrazek. Toronto's going to win that. Brody's going to pull it back, flip it down the ice. Got by at center. Who is that breaking in? Looks like Willie's
Yep.
gonna pull up, puts it in front of the
Matthews
net.
still loose.
Rebound for Bunting. It's sitting there in the zone, sitting there in the blue ice, and Detroit's going to clear that out. Brody back. What a chance. What an opportunity. It was just sitting there waiting to be knocked in. So Nylander with the Dave Anderchuk play, skies it to center. Matthews into forecheck, but Detroit's going to kind of circle around and regroup, looking to move it up ice. Sider's going to dump it in. Sider, I don't know if you saw the stat earlier, John, is the quickest now in the first several games of the season to get, was it 6 or 7 points, going ahead of Lindstrom in kind of that scoring in the first couple games of the season.
Yeah.
That was quite interesting. So it's going to get dumped in. Tavares is going to pick it up in the corner, looks for an outlet. It's just going to go across the ice. Rielly misses it, but a quick stick is able to knock it out. Picked up 2-on-1. Kerfoot, the pass. Scores!
Johnny T.
There it is. John Tavares. Nice 2-on-1 play. Kerfoot returns the favor. Beautiful pass to Johnny T, who puts it in the net. Good for him. There you go, John. We talked about him earlier.
I was going to say, we talked about him. There's 4 goals. He's involved on 3 of them. Any night that's a 3-point night is a good night in my books.
Yeah. And we almost saw earlier on the shift before, Matthews with the opportunity and Bunting could have knocked it in, but just didn't settle. Nice little pass and a great play to Tavares to go back far side as Grease was sliding across. No chance for Grease at all. Tavares, top center of the net for his 3rd goal of the season. They listed it on NHL.com as unassisted. Clearly not the case. Clearly an assist. Kerfoot will get an assist on that for sure.
And again, that's 2 points for Kerfoot tonight. Let's keep getting that value up for when he gets dealt mid-season.
Yeah, and here we go. 12 minutes to go. Detroit is circling behind the net. Simmons, interesting kind of move to get possession of the puck. Toronto's going to get out of their zone and escape there. Dump it in deep. Yeah, absolutely, Bernie. Sharks are beating the Jets 1-0 after 2 period. Extremely gutsy effort with everything that happened. That shows, a true team effort when you have something like that and you kind of pull together to play. They very easily could have pushed to get the game canceled, right? With that many players and a coach going out. As well, Barkov's 5th on the power play from Huberdeau and Ekblad, 7 minutes into the 3rd, 2-1 Florida. That's awesome. I love Barkov. I'm so happy every time I see his name with a goal. Such a skilled player.
When you talk about bringing guys up from the AHL, every team brings up, 1 player, 2 players, as need be due to injuries. You're not usually bringing 5 guys up from your AHL team, especially at one time. I'll have to look into that stat. I'll have to get back to you for the next game as to when the last time 5 AHL players played in the NHL at the same time.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one for sure. Justin back in. That's why I commented pull Grease. Grease had 0 chance on that play though. I don't think any goalie would have stopped that. That was a
it was a beautiful saucer pass. Had Grease moving laterally. Shot by Tavares was a laser guided shot. You weren't stopping it unless you're Carey Price.
Yeah, even Carey Price, I don't think would stop that. Here's Detroit though, putting some pressure. Nice moves, putting it in front. Scores no. Detroit. See, they're not going away. They're not going away. I saw that as he was pulling up and kind of made a quick couple moves from the point to move in. Was able to put that through. We'll have to see the replay. I think that was Namestikhanov that put it in.
Watch how the Toronto's defense collapsed, though, on their goaltender here.
Skated right around Nylander. I didn't see who it was that skated up the front.
Look, just sitting around, poking with sticks, not taking bodies.
Namestikhanov looks like Velino that made the moves. He's having a heck of a game.
There was actually a delayed penalty being called there as well.
Yeah. I think it was a high stick to the face.
Yeah, and I believe it was going to be a 4 minute, so it's going to goals counting. A 2-minute penalty will be issued.
Oh, unbelievable. So that's a double whammy for Toronto. They get the goal, you're right, high sticking, drew some blood on the side of the face. 4-minute penalty for high sticking. 2 is negated from the goal. 2 up on the clock. Morgan Rielly with the penalty. Oh, you know what? It's not even Morgan Rielly's
It's not
stick.
Morgan Rielly's stick. It's his own player's
It's his
stick.
own player's stick. That's a bad call.
Well, but hold on a second, because can you? I think you can question. I think this is a review. Yeah, this is a reviewable play.
They're going to review it. I don't know if that's an automatic review or if that has to be a coach's challenge.
Well, I believe it has to be a coach's.
No.
I believe it has to be a coach's challenge, but what would be interesting is if a high stick was actually Detroit player's high stick. That is, in fact, still a 4-minute penalty, and it would be before the player touches the puck. Therefore, that goal should not count.
Well,
if you call off the penalty on Rielly, the penalty would be on Detroit.
No, but you can't get a penalty for high sticking your own man in the face.
I believe you can. The rule is high sticking. It's not high sticking against the opponent. I want to see this overturned.
Yeah, it should be overturned, but no. No, you know what? Just for that, I'm blocking you out. I'm going to mute you. No, I'm just kidding.
You watch this. They're going to overturn the penalty call.
Yeah. So Joe Velino with the dirty work, brought up from the AHL to replace Bertuzzi, and he's making a case that he wants to stick around because he is having one heck of a game.
And here we got the call still being overturned.
Yeah. So they brought Rielly out. Oh my God! Are you kidding me? Detroit with the penalty. Oh no! Detroit. That was
no
the power play. I was gonna say if you pulled that one out, John. But absolutely, that's the right call. That is 100% the right call.
Minus the fact that Detroit should have been called for high sticking and had the goal taken away.
Yeah. So here we go. Toronto is really pressing now. So Velino, called up to replace Bertuzzi, has a goal and an assist and is a +2 with 3 shots on goals tonight and 2 hits with almost 11 minutes of ice time. That's a heck of a line for a player called up. So he is really making a case for himself tonight, for sure.
You know who's been awfully quiet tonight? Is Matthews.
He's had some opportunities. He got real fired up in that game against Chicago. So it's okay. I'm okay with the way Matthews, is performing tonight. Not his best. But I'm not saying that he's performing poorly. I'm just saying he's been quiet.
Now this is a team, and we've seen it over the last 2-3 years, where you don't need your top guys scoring every game. The depth on this team and the talent on this team, allows scoring from your third and fourth lines.
Yeah,
which is why we saw Bunting and Spezza on the power play earlier.
Yeah, shot and a save from Mrazek. So nice playing there for sure. I'm just trying to see. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. It's nice. I said it before. I'll say it again. Really happy to see Mrazek continuing to be solid and standing up to a lot of those plays. Okay, so just for the Leafs upcoming week this week, we have Tuesday night, November 2nd. The Golden Knights come to town, and we are going to play Vegas. So nice to see them come in. Then we go Thursday, November 4th. The Tampa Bay Lightning come into play. The next Saturday night, November 6th, we have the Boston Bruins in town. So we'll see if we'll be streaming next Saturday for the Bruins game. And then starting the next week with the Kings and the Flyers. So lots of great teams. Lots of great teams coming in, facing the Leafs with Vegas, Tampa, Boston, and then Kings and Flyers. So it'll be interesting to see how the week plays out for sure. So I'm just waiting for this to update. Here we go. Justin in with a comment. If Bertuzzi would get vaccinated, we'd need to replace him. We wouldn't need to replace him with AHL talent. Absolutely, Justin. Very interesting scenario with Bertuzzi, and I'm sure there's some other players as well, but I don't think anyone has gotten the attention that Bertuzzi has gotten with choosing not to get vaccinated. He's really, Detroit's one of their top players this year, and so it's hurting the team a little bit by taking that stance. But Foligno tonight has really stepped up to fill those shoes for sure.
He may actually be the only remaining player to be unvaccinated.
Is he the only one now?
I believe he might be the last one.
So here we go. Looks like it's going to be to the right of Mrazek. Detroit is going to take away and take it deep into the corner. Toronto is going to check hard. Detroit's going to come away with it, dump it back to the point, and they're going to feed it across. Chipped out by Toronto, but not over the line. Now they pick it up and get over the line. Kemp is going to try and get it in deep with Cash chasing, cycling it around. Goes all the way around back the net. Brody's going to pick it up at the line, go right back into the corner. So big cycle game now as Toronto is ping-ponging it back to the line, barely kept in by Brody. Brody to Rielly, puts it in front, but that is blocked and doesn't get through.
So it seems like we got a good group of people here in this chat that have some knowledge on hockey. Let's take a quick poll. Shoot a message on what team you think is most likely to crash and burn, and what team you think is most likely to slip into the playoffs and have a surprising run. Throw your comments in, and we can discuss as they come along.
So we go. Detroit is going to move up the ice, walking into Toronto's zone. And Larkin is so good. He just looks so good the way he moves the puck around. It's so nice to see him play. I haven't seen a whole lot of him, but he looks great. Here's Matthews going to pick it up to Bunting. Tried to feed it back to Matthews, but couldn't pick it up. Cross the net to Bunting. Cycles it back to the point and just put it right back in around the net. So we got Larkin. It's going to circle and start moving it up the ice again as Detroit's going to change. He's going to carry it all the way in. Thought he was going to dump it. Now he does as he steps over the blue line. Detroit misses the pickup. Toronto's going to grab it and put it back to Matthews, who's going to go airborne for Simmons. Looks like we're in the middle of a line change. Simmons is going to take that down deep into the corner, battling with Richie hard. Spezza there to keep it in. Come on, two hands on your stick, Richie. There you go. Win those battles.
Talk about a guy who actually has really been obsolete for the better part of this year. I'm hoping to see more of him step up, especially with the ability of the physical presence that we've seen him have in the past.
Yep. Justin says, I'll be upset if the Wings lose, but I'll be far more annoyed if the Blackhawks win. Yeah, how long can the Blackhawks go without picking up a win? Interesting. That game, Chicago-St. Louis 0-0 in the first for sure. Or still, I should say, not for sure. Robert says, Leafs will struggle, then have a big run late in the year, a la St. Louis. That would be nice. I would be okay with that. They can struggle all they want, as long as they come back and really kind of tear it down. Florida Boston is back tied 2-2 as Bernie lets us know. McAvoy, first goal of the season on a power play. ties that up. 5 minutes to go in the third. That makes me nervous. Come on, Florida. So here we go. We got 5.5 left in the game here. 34-26 Toronto in shots. Toronto is back looking to set it up. I don't know what they just did there, but Detroit is going to pick it up and take it right back into the Leafs zone. Puts it on net, but Mrazek's going to turn that aside. Oh, fanned on it at the point. But it does come in. It is offside, so they are going to have to set it up. Tavares is going to pick it up and look to move the puck up the ice. I don't know, whoever's producing this game, the cameras are jumping all over the place. It is really
they really are. I don't know if it's
offside.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
No, I was gonna say, I don't know if it's just that the plays have been that sporadic, or if the cameraman just can't follow the puck. But certainly, it's been all over the place.
Yeah. So when we look at this third period so far, Detroit has been out shooting Toronto 9-4, which is a dangerous number, right? We don't want Toronto to sit back on their heels too much. The overall shots are 34-27 Toronto. Each team has a power play goal. Detroit is 1 for 2. Toronto is 1 for 1. The face-offs are slowly starting to come back in line. Toronto now down to 65% to Detroit's 35%. Block shots, 13 for Detroit, 11 for Toronto. Takeaways, Detroit has stepped it up in the takeaway department, leading that 12-6. The giveaways, 11 giveaways for Detroit, 13 for Toronto. So that number of giveaways is still a dangerous number. And in the hit department, it is even at 20 hits apiece.
20 hits almost through 3 periods of hockey is certainly different than what we used to see in a Toronto-Detroit series or game. The physicality just isn't there. And I think that's where, guys like Simmons, Bunting, Kempf, Ricci, they've really got to step up that physical play on the third and fourth line.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because I'd love to know what they consider a hit to be counted as a hit. Because there's lots of rub-outs, there's lots of bumping going on, but I'd really like to know what they actually consider a hit.
Yeah.
Justin says, I would say the Sabres, but they've had many great starts to just fall apart. I expect it to happen this season as well. As for teams that crash and burn, I'd have to say the Lightning. So, Justin, I have big issues with the Lightning. I'm still bitter from last year, how they sat Kucherov out. I know he was injured most of the year, but he could have come back, and they didn't have the cap room, and then they bring him back for the playoffs, and now he's out again. They better not pull that again, because that would not sit well with me. So I have a real big bone to pick with the Lightning for sure. It says I say the Lightning crash and burn purely due to the amount of games played over the last 5 or 6 years. Yeah, it does catch up to you. That is for sure. So 4.5 to go. 4-3 Toronto. Big hit at the line. Holy moly! I wasn't sure if Muzzin intended to hit Larkin there or if I ran into him.
I'm not sure because Muzzin seemed to stand and look at him like surprised that he actually threw a hit.
Yeah,
and Muzzin is a big boy.
Matthews bringing it in with a shot over the shoulder. Toronto is bringing it around, and they're just going to keep putting it in deep and trying to play out the clock here. Oh, out in front. Nylander turns and shoots, but wide. Matthews picking it up. Back to Nylander, lets it go back to Muzzin. Muzzin fakes a shot that wrists it to the net, but no one really there in front. Muzzin's going to pick up his rebound. Back to the top of the circle for Matthews. Matthews cycles it back dangerously to the line. Lindgren there, though. Ooh, that was really close to coming out, but Toronto does keep it in. And now Detroit's going to walk it out. Good block by Muzzin, but Detroit is going to pick that in deep. Can't connect on the pass. Spezza's going to pick that up and look to move it out. He's going to dump it in, and he's going to chase it. Captain Canada, Jason Spezza. Going to keep forechecking in there deep. He's going to back off a little bit now as Detroit's going to move out. But Rielly tries to keep it in. And Toronto's going to pick that up. Sandin back dumps it back to Rielly. They're going to look to set up. Detroit is now forechecking really hard, opening it up for Toronto. Simmons bringing it across, but takes on 3 wings, gets a shot off, and uses his body to push through. Good effort from Simmons. Here's Bernie. Bernie says, really like the Flames doing a lot of damage in Pacific. Vegas dealing with lots of injuries, and Edmonton will be there as well, but like Calgary's makeup and in a winnable division with Markstrom in it. Yeah, it all depends on how Markstrom's going to perform. If he can hang on, Flames have a real good chance. Morgan says, I want Montreal to perform steady, then make a run for it. Interesting, Morgan. I think Montreal, they're going to have a tough time for sure.
Well, I was going to say, if they hold steady, by make a run for it, you mean Price returns. We saw that happen last year.
He says, I had to include I want because they're not strong enough in their division. Yeah, they're definitely not strong enough for sure. You know, Edmonton always has good chances. They have such talent, and adding Hyman this year, I'm a huge Hyman fan, and him and
big acquisition
David look really good together. So we'll see what damage Edmonton can do. You know, Stolen scores.
Mitch Marner.
Mitch Marner with the garbage goal, but he will take it to pull the monkey off his back. I think Dubas is smiling big behind that mask, but doesn't want to show any emotion. Very interesting play. Toronto dumps it in deep. Grease with it behind the net. Makes the pass, but stolen right away by Marner. Nick Leddy just did not see him coming. Leddy went to pass it out front. Marner stole it, puts it in the empty net, gets the goal. Good for Mitchell. Nice to get one. Now let's see if he can turn that around.
And for all the kids out there, that's why as a defenseman, you don't put the puck in front of your own net.
That's another one. Tavares picked that up and put it in front, but no one was there to grab it. So dumped in, that's going to be an icing call. 5-3 Toronto. Jasper Pratt with the go-ahead goal in Pittsburgh with 3 minutes to play. 3-2 Devils.
Over the Devils, yeah.
Oh, and I just see an update. It says 4-2 over the Devils now, so it looks like another goal in there. Minute 43, I wonder if that was an empty netter. Morgan says, I was going to mention Price. Without him, no deal, no run at all. Absolutely, Morgan. We talked about that a little earlier. Price is definitely kind of the key in Montreal. And Justin says, we're a completely different team without Bertuzzi. Yeah, it's true. Bertuzzi does make a big difference, but I think after kind of the game yesterday in Florida or against Florida, that was a pretty intense game. Definitely draining. So always tough to play 2 in a row, especially when you have such an intense first game. So Detroit pulls the goalie, so they go up with the man advantage. Looking to get something quick here.
Dangerous play by Engvall, deflecting that towards his net.
Andreas Johnson with the insurance goal for the Devils with an assist from Subban. Thank you, Bernie. Last minute of play. Detroit is cycling it around. Good evening, Christina G. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. So that's going to be deflected up and out of the play. 49 seconds to go. 5-3 Leafs. 38-29 the shots. What a game this has been. It looked good, on paper with Detroit coming in. A lot of talent on both sides. The Leafs not been playing well, but happy to see they're able to kind of come out strong. They just look like a very different team tonight. Part of that could be because they, got some goals, and played well early. But they really do look like a very different team than we saw in the last couple of games.
Interesting line Toronto's putting out there. 49 seconds to go, 2-goal lead. Detroit's got their goaltender out. It's a defensive zone face-off after a timeout. I would have thought a different group would have been on the ice, but
Yeah, I'm kind of watching it out of the corner of my eye. I'm watching the live tracker for the Florida Panther game, as that game is now in overtime against Boston. Makes me nervous.
Let's see, Toronto make any changes here?
It looks like, is that the Tavares line?
Marner, Tavares, and Kerfoot with Muzzin and who's out there with Muzzin?
No, it looks like Kempf is there. And
Okay.
Kempf and Brody.
So Brody and Muzzin.
Interesting that Kempf is out there instead. Oh,
And
shot from the
there's-
point. There's a goal. Detroit. I was just about to say, I don't think you want to have Marner on the ice at this point to play defensively. I know he has a real good defensive stick, but he's been a little bit of a defensive liability with some of his decision making in the D zone. And we see that the Leafs couldn't get it out. They were in trouble. It comes out in front of the net, back to the point. Marner does not commit to the block. Instead of going down, he kind of stands up straight. I think he totally
screens his goalie.
Totally screens the goalie with the shot from Marner.
And this is why I was saying that I was surprised with the group that was on the ice. I would have gone with some bodies. I would have seen possibly Simmons out there. Clear the front of the net.
Yeah, there we go. Kempf, Kerfoot, and Marner still on the ice. Why are they keeping Marner still on the ice?
I'm not sure.
Detroit is going to win that draw and dump it in deep. We got 25 seconds left. This makes me really nervous right now. So Detroit and Toronto battling it in the corner. Toronto's trying to hold it, trying to get a whistle. That's Kerfoot is going to dig it out.
There you go. There's a hooking penalty.
We're going to get a hooking penalty, and that will just about do it.
And that'll take the face-off down the ice as well. There's a holding the stick, pulled the stick right out of Kemp's hand, hooks Kerfoot. You had a plethora of calls to choose from on that.
So Fabbri getting the call. And Fabbri's had a pretty good game, but makes the play at the end. Leafs are going to take it. 12 seconds left. Justin says, when you consider 1 and 2 games each, Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, and 1 game each, Calgary, Vancouver. Yeah, lots of 2 games each. Here we go. Detroit's going to win it. They're going to run 10 seconds left. They're going to put it in deep. Mrazek is going to grab it, dump it across, but Detroit picks it up, fires a shot, doesn't get through, fires another shot, rebound. Detroit is baffling it. Baffling it? They're bashing it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they're
TV.
baffling it, but they were certainly bashing it, and Mrazek holds that pad tight on the ground.
Yeah, so the Leafs win. They pull it out for sure. Leafs win. Excellent game. I'm keeping an eye on that Panther game real quick, and then we'll do a rundown of the stats from today's game. Just want to see what happens. It's 1:42 left in overtime for Florida. Let's see what happens. Time cannot tick fast enough in that game for the Panthers. I wonder, let's see if I can actually pull it up. Oh, I gotta sign in. All right.
Sports.
So we're gonna watch, keep an eye on the end of the Florida game. Actually, I'll go back to my other window and we will do a rundown of all of the stats from today's game. So I appreciate everybody for being here. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up, please do give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, we'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscription button. Make sure to hit that notification bell so you can see every time we do go live. We go live a couple times a week. So Saturdays, we do a hockey game, live call. Tuesday nights, we do a retro show where we turn back the clock and go talk about some old topics. We've talked about music. We talked about sitcoms, cartoons. We did a full episode focusing on the original Star Wars trilogy. And this Tuesday at 8 o'clock, we're going to talk about retro Disney. So we're going to talk about old Disney theme park rides, Disney shows, movies, all that stuff. So you definitely want to check those out. As well, tomorrow night for Halloween, we're doing a Halloween live stream where we're going to walk around the neighborhood, check out a lot of the decorations and costumes, and just, talk to some people and have some fun. So if you're around, definitely join us for that. So let's see. I'm waiting on this Florida game. So Florida is going to a shootout. 2-2 going to a shootout. Oh, I hate shootouts. They make me so nervous. All right, let's look at the stats from this game. I think the NHL Network has already updated my view.
Hockey stats.
To refresh. So shots on goal, 38-30 for Toronto. Face-off, 68% to 32% for the Maple Leafs. Each 1 for 2 on the power play. Hits, 23 hits to 21 for Toronto. So probably the first game that we've looked at where the Leafs have won the hit parade. Blocks were pretty close, 15 for Detroit, 14 for Toronto. Giveaways, 12 to 14. So 14 giveaways, still a number that makes me really, really nervous. Our goal scorers for tonight's game, we had Jake Muzzin from Brody and Tavares, Philip Zadina from the Cedar and Gagne, Michael Bunting is third of the year from Spezza and Ritchie. And then in the third, we had Kerfoot from Tavares and Muzzin, Valino from Rasmussen, Tavares from Kerfoot and Rielly, Nameskinov from Valino and Osterl, Marner unassisted, and Philip Hornick from Raymond and Zadina. So lots of scoring all around. I'm happy to see Toronto's on the good side of it. From the plus-minus category, Kerfoot was a +4 tonight, which is great. Marner was a +3, which is really good because he's been down in the minuses the last couple games. So to see him up for a +3 is really, really good. And that line, that Tavares line, was just excellent tonight. Matthews, no points tonight, was a -1. Only 3 shots on goal. So not a great performance for Matthews, seeing 16 minutes of ice time tonight and really not getting a lot of shots off and being a -1. Bunting, even though he did have that goal at one point, he was still a -2 on the night, but he did have 4 shots. So from the defensive side, Muzzin with a heck of a game with a goal and an assist for 2 points and a +1 in 24 minutes of ice time. Rielly with an assist in 24 minutes of ice time. Brody with an assist. So lots of points coming from the defensive side. And Mrazek with not a great game, giving up a lot of goals for an .867 save percentage, but definitely hanging in there. So I'm just going to take it back. I'm waiting to see the shootout results from the Florida game so we can share it with you. Again, thanks everybody so much for hanging out with us tonight. It was so much fun. We look forward to seeing you back next Saturday against the Boston Bruins. At least that's the plan as of now. So definitely hit that notification bell so you can join us when we go live on Saturday. It is 1-1 San Jose and Winnipeg. That is all tied up with 2.5 left in the third. End of the second, 0-0 Chicago St. Louis. At the end of the first, Colorado has taken a 1-0 lead over Minnesota. And we have a couple late games tonight. We have Philly and Calgary at 10, Edmonton and Vancouver at 10. I'm really excited for that Edmonton-Vancouver game. I think that's going to be excellent. But I cannot refresh fast enough to see what happens in this Florida game.
I'm watching. I got the live update here, and they must be going pretty deep into the shootout.
Yeah, let's see. So we had Tippett. Tippett wrist shot was saved by Allmark. Happy to see Allmark playing. I've been a big fan of his. Barkov had a wrist shot saved. So Charlie Coyle had scored. Brusque was saved. Huberdeau was saved. So it looks like if that's the only goal was
looks
Coyle,
like
Boston's
leading
get the win.
the shootout.
Yeah, 1-0 with a goal from Coyle. So let's see. Come on, refresh. And that's it. It's over.
It's
Boston
over.
wins in
Boston
the
wins.
shootout. there goes Florida's undefeated streak. I'm not doing well with the English language tonight. 3-2 Boston over Florida. Very disappointed, but that was a heck of a streak by the Panthers to start the season. So happy to see the success that they've had, now going 8-0-1. So I know Anthony the Muller Man, I don't think you're in the chat anymore, but if you are ninja watching, congratulations. You guys took out my Panthers, but I will see you next Saturday. Anyways, John, thank you so much for kind of filling in and joining us tonight to kind of co-host throughout the game. I'll definitely do this again anytime you want. Looks like Saturday nights is the night where we're going to be kind of doing this moving forward. So again, appreciate everybody for joining us here. John, you want to say anything before you kind of take off?
No, it was great to join you. Thanks for having me on. And for those of you who haven't checked him out, check out Chef John's cooking videos right here on Samuel B12.
Yeah, we got two great cooking videos from John up there. One is smoking some ribs. The other one was smoking, was it a pork shoulder? I forget what it was.
Yeah, brisket. It was at the brisket and pork. Yeah, I think it was brisket, yep. Pork shoulder.
And we got another video, which is in production right now. It's almost finished. Should be going up at some point tomorrow or Monday, probably Monday, with a new cook. So we'll see. You guys will see that coming very soon.
Check that one out. That was a beef short rib and some pork belly, and it was incredible. I can't even tell you how good that went down.
Yep. Bernie says Caps had their Halloween party tonight. Tom Wilson as Shane Falco from the Replacements and Kuzi in Squid Game gear with Samsonoff and their wives. That's amazing. Tom Wilson as Falco from the Replacements is awesome. I love that movie. That is wicked. That is wicked. All right, John.
All right. Thank you, guys. Take care, everyone.
Well, thank you guys for watching. As we mentioned a few times, we got lots of streams coming at you tomorrow and Tuesday, and then back here next Saturday. As well, if you haven't seen some of our other videos, take a look at our old retro streams. We have a nice light show we put up, a nice Halloween light show. So lots of stuff in the channel to check out. If you do go back and watch anything, please do hit that like button, that thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. Of course, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button and the notification bell. We'll keep doing this if everyone keeps showing up. So we really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thanks for coming in and spending your evening with us and watching the game. We'll see you guys next week. Go Leafs, go. Bernie, thank you so much. I want to give a special shout out to Bernie. Thank you for all your contributions with all the updates in the stats throughout. Super, super appreciate it, and really helps us kind of go a little deeper into some of these other games where we just don't have a lot of that information. So much appreciated. Morgan says, I found Score, lots of Pro Line hockey cards from the 90s season, Hoops basketball cards. Yeah, that's awesome, Morgan. I'd love to see it. I'm a huge card collector. I mean, next week we'll spend a little bit more time and get into the hockey card side. I know up here we have the Tim Hortons hockey cards that are out, which I'm getting into. So starting my Tim Hortons collection for this year. So definitely want to show some of that off to everyone. So again, thank you guys. It's been a wonderful evening. We've had lots of action, lots of goals, lots of stats. You guys are fantastic. I super appreciate you guys all. So with that said, I'm going to get ready to watch some of these late games starting in 10 minutes. Have a wonderful evening. I look forward to seeing you guys in our chats again real soon. Thank you so much. And from myself and Chef John and Jacob, who stopped in earlier, have a wonderful evening, a wonderful weekend, a great Halloween. If you are going out, be safe. And we'll see you all real soon. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.